Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the defending champions, el gran campeón mexicano, Julio Cesar Chavez. Terrible Terry Norris. Michael, second to Nunn. The mighty warrior, Azumah Nelson. And now the ready and able challengers. Greg, the tough man, Haugen. Maurice, the thin man, Blocker. Irish, Dan Morgan. The Candy Kid, Gabriel Ruelas.
This is a city sparkling with anticipation. On this night, Mexico welcomes home its native son and hero, Julio Cesar Chavez, who will be headlining this boxing extravaganza. The undefeated three-time world champion defends his super lightweight title against Greg Haugen. This former world lightweight title holder is known for his toughness and tenacity. The combative Haugen is always a dangerous adversary. Chavez versus Haugen for the WBC Super Lightweight Championship. If rising superstar Terry Norris continues to send fighters into retirement or ruin, he'll run out of opposition. If two-time world champion Maurice captures a super welterweight crown, he'll be elevated into boxing's upper class. Norris defends his WBC Super Welterweight Championship against Blocker. Michael Nunn, a former middleweight champion, has resurrected his career. He now reigns as the WBA Super Middleweight champ. Dan Morgan is a part-time steelworker and a full-time contender. Now, Morgan hopes to be a real-life Rocky. Nunn and Morgan battle for the WBA Super Middleweight Championship. The mighty warrior, Azumah Nelson, is one of the longest reigning champions in boxing. #1 contender Gabriel Ruelas has the skills to threaten Nelson's long-time rule. Nelson will meet the challenge of Ruelas for the WBC Super Featherweight Championship. 4 world title fights coming up live via satellite from Mexico City. Showtime Event Television and King Vision present the Grand Slam of Boxing.
Welcome to Azteca Stadium in Mexico City. The fact that over 100,000 people have come to this stadium tonight is a testimony to the Mexican people's love of boxing and a tribute to Julio Cesar Chavez. The Mexican warrior and 3 other world champions defend their titles tonight in front of this huge audience. Azteca officials announced tonight's attendance at 130,000, making our Grand Slam of Boxing #1 all-time record in paid attendance for a boxing event. The first Jack Dempsey-Gene Tunney World Heavyweight Championship bout is now #2 all-time in live paid attendance. And the Tunney-Dempsey rematch for the World Heavyweight title moves to #3. The highest all-time live gate was for Tony Zale against Billy Pryor, a middleweight non-title bout. That fight drew over 135,000 people, but no admission was charged. Buenas noches, everyone. I'm Jim Hill, and we're glad to have you tonight for what promises to be an extraordinary evening. Mexico City has been the host of the Summer Olympics and World Cup Soccer, and tonight's Grand Slam of Boxing has taken on a special luster that rivals those 2 prestigious events. Unquestionably, this is the most ambitious television production of a boxing event ever. Over 12 tons of equipment was flown into this country. Approximately 10 miles of cable has been run through this massive stadium. And in order to complete this Herculean feat, over 150 production and technical personnel were brought to Mexico and Azteca Stadium. The weeks leading up to this event has really had this entire country eager with anticipation. You see, a Julio Cesar Chavez fight is always a big event for his countrymen. But when the undefeated and three-time world champion fights on his native soil, it's cause for national pride and celebration. Now the weather conditions tonight for this quadruple header are absolutely perfect. The temperature is 58 degrees, humidity is 42%, the winds out of the northeast at 10 miles an hour, and there is a 20% chance of rain. Now for the forecast on what's going to happen in the ring, let's go to blow-by-blow man, Steve Albert. Steve?
Thank you, Jim. Most of the people here tonight came to see an international hero, Julio Cesar Chavez, from unassuming beginnings to great fame and fortune. But despite that, Chavez has remained Mexico's loyal son, returning home following every title fight to spend time with his family. Between title fights in the U.S., he often schedules fights in his hometown of Culiacan. Humble for a person of his legendary stature, Chavez's values are grounded in religion and in family. His overwhelming charisma and charm turned strangers into fans. And earlier this evening, the arrival of Julio Cesar Chavez. At the moment Julio was born, the doctor told his mother he was going to be one of the best boxers or soccer players in the world. Ironically, tonight Julio comes to a soccer shrine in his native Mexico to try and solidify his name among the best boxers of all time. Meanwhile, Greg Haugen, coming into a hostile environment, recently boasted, "After I beat Chavez here in Mexico City, the only thing that worries me is how to get from the ring to my dressing room." Haugen was so preoccupied with Chavez that he almost lost his tune-up to a relatively unknown fighter, Armando Campos, back in December. I'm joined now by my partner, the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco. Ferdy, how about an overview of tonight's 4 title fights? Chavez-Haugen, a matchup of contrasting personalities.
Well, on paper, there's no way that Haugen can beat Chavez, especially not in front of 130,000 screaming fans. But he has decided to try to make him mad, to discombobulate him, to get him in a street fight. We know he's tough. We know Haugen can take a terrific shot, but all you do when you get Chavez mad at you is you get a bigger beating. So before his fans, look for some punishment tonight.
And then we have a pair of champions on the card, Terry Norris and Michael Nunn, who could both be perceived as heavy favorites.
I think they're heavy favorites, but not so much in the case of Terry Norris. If he can go right through blocker, yes, he can knock him out and finish. But Blocker's a fine boxer and a champion in his own right. He's not going to be that easy to hit. I make that a pretty interesting fight. That's not at all a pushover.
What about Michael Nunn and Irish Danny Morgan?
Well, that's the very best in the world in Nunn in his class, and the very best journeyman of Minneapolis, and that's a wrap of that fight.
And then you've got Azumah Nelson and Gabriel Ruelas, an established star versus an up-and-coming fighter.
Well, I can't tell you how many people have lost money waiting for the night that Azumah Nelson is no longer Azumah Nelson. He is the professor. He's the best, and he's tough. Against him, he's got a terrific young kid. Ruelas has every chance of upsetting Azumah Nelson if Azumah is not the professor of old. That's what's interesting here. There could be an upset, but I think Azumah has still not lost it.
It's almost a surreal setting here. Coming up at Azteca Stadium in Mexico City, the first bout in our Grand Slam of boxing, Michael Nunn versus Dan Morgan for the WBA Super Middleweight Championship. As we go behind the scenes and take a look at Michael Nunn in his dressing room, getting ready to defend his WBA Super Middleweight title against Irish Danny Morgan. Let's get more on this fight from Jim Hill.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. The WBA Super Middleweight Championship is our first bout of the evening. Michael Nunn, a 2-time champion, is hoping to reclaim the stature he lost when he was knocked out by James Toney. That KO loss cost Nunn his IBF Middleweight Championship. Since then, he has been reborn as a super middleweight. He's a champion once again and wants to keep his belt. The challenger, Dan Morgan, has previously fought for the WBA Super Middleweight Championship. That bout ended abruptly and in disaster. Chris Tioso knocked out Morgan in the 2nd round. Coming up, Nunn defends his 2nd title, and Morgan challenges for his 2nd time.
In 1988, Michael Nunn became part of boxing's royalty. He held the IBF middleweight crown for almost 3 years before abdicating to James Toney. Now he rules over the WBA Super Middleweight Kingdom with supreme confidence.
Style-wise, you know, one of the best boxers in the world today, you know. I mean, punch power is starting to come into his own, but my boxing ability is what got me here.
The Michael Nunn, who fought as a middleweight, was a slick boxing defensive fighter. The reborn 168-pound super middleweight version is more of a puncher than a performer. Nunn has twice fought the tough Panamanian Victor Cordoba, first to win the super middleweight championship, then to retain the title in a rematch.
I'm the best super middleweight in the world. There's no way in the world Danny Morgan will beat Michael Nunn.
Dan Morgan was a steel worker with dreams of being a boxer. He still works in a Minneapolis factory galvanizing steel. But he also labors at a boxing career. Regardless of the trade, Morgan applies the same hard work ethic.
Since I was a kid, my father instilled this really, you work hard and you do the job right, whatever you're doing.
While Morgan continued to punch the clock at the factory, he was punching out opponents and keeping an eye on his goal. As he rose through the super middleweight ranks, his dreams of becoming a contender were becoming a reality.
I finally made it to be a contender and top 10 in the world.
From factory worker to club fighter to contender, Morgan was living his dream. The hard work and dedication were beginning to pay off. Irish Dan could envision the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
And then I got to be a contender. I said, well, it'd be nice to be a world champion, So I got to fight for the world title. Lost. I had the chance and opportunity. A lot of people don't get that. I'm grateful for it.
Opportunity is knocking a second time for this blue-collar boxer. Unfortunately, the odds are stacked against him since he is facing a two-time world champion. Nunn is enjoying his return to boxing's ruling class. He will guard his crown with all his ability. Morgan hopes he can
do my best, and I just got to take care of him. I got to get him out of here.
Michael Nunn's been knocked down before. He's been knocked out, and his chin is there, and I'm going to hit it, and I'm going to put it out.
If Morgan thinks he can hit me on the chin and take me out, I mean, he's in for a big surprise. I mean, I've been hit by some of the biggest barbers in my division and took their shots and kept going. So, I mean, unfortunately, this guy's going to come up short.
I'm a blue-collar worker, real hard worker, don't got a lot of money, and I ain't going to let this opportunity for my life slide away from me.
There's nothing Morgan can do that I've never seen before, but there's things that Michael Nunn can do that he's never seen before. And I'll exploit that on the 20th of February here in Mexico City.
So Nunn believes he was born to be a member of boxing's ruling class, and Morgan believes that hard work will be rewarded. So we'll see if Nunn rules or if Morgan gets the job done. Let's go to ringside and Steve.
Thanks again, Jim. We are closing in on Michael Nunn versus Dan Morgan for the WBA Super Middleweight Championship. Nunn taking this fight only 22 days after his first defense of the title, a unanimous decision over Victor Cordoba. Now, originally, Julian Jackson was scheduled to fight Gerald McClellan for the WBC Middleweight Championship, but Jackson hurt his hand in training, so enter Nunn versus Morgan. Ferdy, are we looking at a total mismatch here?
Well, you'd have to say it's close to it, because the only chance that Irish Dan has is his punch, to land one punch on Nunn, which isn't easy. So I characterize this as a punch and a prayer. If Morgan doesn't land a punch, he hasn't got a prayer.
How about Morgan's strategy for an upset?
Morgan's strategy's got to be just to come out and bomb, to try to get him in a fight. Nunn is such a superior boxer. He really is head and shoulders above Morgan. Morgan's only chance is to hope that he lands a good shot. Cinderella time. It's Tokyo again. It's Douglas and Tyson. It's a hopeless underdog against a champion, and just maybe that one punch will land.
Now, Nunn went 12 rounds with Victor Cordoba just 3 weeks ago and took several low blows. Do you think that took anything out of him?
No, not at all. After 24 hours, all of that goes away. Besides which, I think a lot of that is acting. They wear this tremendous cut, which you can hit with a baseball bat. No, I don't think it has any factor whatsoever in this fight.
All right, so it's Nunn and Morgan. Let's take a look at the challenger, Irish Danny Morgan, in the ring. A steelworker out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, 41-2 with 30 knockouts, rated number 12 by the WBA. Tonight, his second title shot, losing via TKO in the second round to Chris Tiozzo in 1990 for this very title. Morgan, a former U.S. Marine, was taught to box along with his 5 brothers by his father, Jim, who gave up boxing to become a pro wrestler. And now here is the champion, Michael Nunn, making his second defense of the title in just over 3 weeks. The Davenport, Iowa product, now living in Agora Hills, California, is 39-1 with 25 knockouts. That lone blemish, the disheartening defeat to James Toney back in '91 in Nunn's hometown, when Nunn was ahead on all cards, got careless in the 11th, and he was decked, losing the IBF middleweight crown. Often criticized for his non-aggressive running style, Nunn, perhaps tired of all the booing, has been more aggressive of late. Let's check the tail of the tape. The 29-year-old Nunn is 2 years younger than Morgan. Nunn with a 2-inch height advantage, the weight even at 168, and a 1.5-inch reach advantage for Nunn. To the rules according to the WBA, 10-point must system in effect. 3 judges scoring the fight, no standing 8 count. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. It almost had to be enforced in Nunn's last fight when he knocked down Cordoba twice in the second. Only the referee can stop the fight. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the last round. So here at gigantic Azteca Stadium in Mexico City, the huge crowd getting set for the WBA Super Middleweight Championship. Let's get the official introductions from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, bienvenidos aficionados al box al Estadio Azteca en la Ciudad de México. Hoy tenemos una gran noche de boxeo que viene a ustedes por Don King Productions, King Vision, SET Pay-Per-View y Estadio Azteca. Presentamos Poker de Aces. Well, fans, we welcome you to Mexico City as we present a big night of action, an unprecedented 4 World Championship bouts, the Grand Slam of Boxing, brought to you by Don King Productions, King Vision, SET Pay-Per-View, in association with Estadio Azteca. Bien, amigos, esta es la primera atracción especial de la noche, de 12 rounds por el título peso supermedio de la Asociación Mundial de Boxeo. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Association, the Presidente Gilberto Mendoza, Supervisor Manuel Landero, presentando a los jueces, introducing the judges at ringside, Hector Hernandez, Rogelio Perez, Alejandro Rochin. And now presenting the referee in charge of this bout, Enzo Montero. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing, the WBA Super Middleweight Championship of the World. Presentando al retador en la esquina azul. Introducing the challenger in the blue corner, wearing green trunks with white trim. Un peleador de Minneapolis, Minnesota, en los Estados Unidos. Pesando 76.1 kilos, he weighed in 168 pounds, con un récord de 41 victorias, 2 derrotas y 30 victorias por knockout, with a record 41 wins, 2 losses, 30 wins by way of knockout. Please welcome the challenger, ranked number 12 by the WBA, presentando al retador número 12 en el mundo, Irish, Danny Morgan. Y al campeón en la esquina roja, his opponent across the ring in the red corner, wearing white trunks with red and blue trim. Representando Davenport, Iowa, en los Estados Unidos, con un peso de 76.1 kilos, his weight the same at 168 pounds. Tiene récord de 39 victorias y solamente una derrota, con 25 victorias por knockout. His outstanding record includes 39 wins, only 1 loss, with 25 wins by way of knockout. Welcome, the former IBF middleweight champion, tonight defending his WBA Super Middleweight title. Demos la bienvenida al campeón Michael, second to none. El referee Enzo Montero.
So we are getting set for the WBA Super Middleweight Championship here at Azteca Stadium. Steeped in tradition, 2 World Cup finals were played here. The 1968 Summer Olympics, as Jim Hill pointed out. More recently, about 3 months ago, in the first rock concert here at Azteca, Elton John sold out the stadium, 130,000 strong. The biggest crowd for sports, 114,000, 1986 World Cup Finals. Argentina, led by Maradona, defeated Germany. This will be the new record tonight. Danny Morgan and Michael Nunn. Nunn, the southpaw, not the biggest puncher, but he's accurate, elusive, slick, mobile, and crafty. Danny Morgan, from the old school, orthodox style, told us he's from the Stanley Ketchel school of boxing. Likes to use the right hand more. Pretty good left hook. Had some interesting things to say. He says he's not the greatest puncher. He says he's not the fastest guy in the world. He's not really very slick, but he'll try his best.
That's a depressing quote from any fighter that's fighting for the title.
Irish Danny Morgan. Tonight his second title shot, losing to Chris Teozo. After beating Victor Cordoba on January the 30th, Michael Nunn was home relaxing when he got a phone call. You want to fight again on February 20th was the question. Michael said, why not? And here he is. This is the shortest amount of time between fights for Nunn, but he told us he had no reservations about it whatsoever.
And the good thing is, they've always said he can't draw a crowd. He's drawn 130,000 people here. He's put that to bed for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he can tell his grandchildren that they all came to see him, not Chavez. Said he doesn't know much about Danny Morgan, but said he intends to jump on him, test his chin, and throw combinations. Meanwhile, Morgan, the steelworker from Minneapolis, he said, I guess he'll have to catch me first. He's not going to go chasing after Michael Nunn. We'll see what happens.
Well, right now, he doesn't have to chase. He's right there, and he's getting killed by him. I mean, you know, Michael is just taking his time. Nunn will pick you apart if you let him. I mean, you just stand right in front of him, pick you apart. He is right in front, where he doesn't need to be. Not too much head movement on the part of Nunn, which is how he got caught with Cordoba. 2 low blows, as if to pick up where Cordoba left off.
Morgan continues to get tagged on the head by Michael Nunn. You can say that Morgan is from a boxing family. His dad, Jim, who's in the corner, 6 of his uncles and 5 brothers boxed as amateurs and pros. I understand he even has some sisters who can defend themselves pretty well. Jim, also a professional wrestler, the father, but taught all of his sons how to box.
Well, he sure wants to taught him how to punch, because this guy's got a great punching record. And if he's got that kind of a punch, I have no idea why Michael Nunn is standing right in front of him without any head movement. He's punching and leaving his head right there. It's not like Michael Nunn. He must be asleep here this first round, like taking this too easy.
Well, he did fight 22 days ago.
That should make him sharp, not dull.
Now he's starting to open it up a little more. Michael Nunn going to work. Late in the first round, and Morgan is down on his knees.
And that's what you see, the difference in class. The speed, the reflexes of a champion like Nunn against a guy who's got a good heart, but hasn't got any kind of speed or idea of what to do with that speed when it comes at him.
Gets up late in the count. 20 seconds remaining in the first round. And Nunn goes right back to it. Trying to end it early with a big left hook.
He might beat this count if he wants to. He doesn't want to.
And that's it. It is all over. Of course, a fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the last round. But it's academic, a moot point, as this one is over in the final seconds of the opening round. And you can hear the reaction from the crowd in the background.
Well, you can't blame them. They've paid top dollar to come here. They want to see action. The problem here is a willing guy, but just not the class of the other fighter. It's 2 different kinds of people. It's just like putting a great college player to playing a Jordan one-on-one. I mean, it's a different class. It's a different world.
Well, we labeled it a mismatch at the start of the broadcast, and that's exactly what it turned out to be. A short night for Michael Nunn. The trip from California to Mexico took a lot longer.
Well, he will be able to say that once in his lifetime he fought before 130,000 people. Let's take a look at what this first knockdown looked like, because really it's speed of hand. What you're looking at here, it's a guy that's got such great reflexes and a guy that really doesn't know how to block anything, doesn't know where the punches are coming. Look at these, he got his hands down. He is totally outclassed and outsped. And that's a sort of fold down rather than just a collapse. And as he came back, he has no idea of where to go with the defense. He didn't even try. He's completely out.
Well, I know where he's going next, back to the steel mill in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah, but he can go back there and say, yeah, you chumps never fought before 130,000 people. This is the first knockdown, as we saw before, and it hadn't changed a bit since we last saw it. It's exactly like it was before. A overwhelming display of fast hands against an inept opponent.
And now the last knockdown and the end of the fight in the final seconds of this first round.
Of course, by this time, Steve is looking for the exit door, and Nunn is, oh, look at that. Perfect, right on the button. He shouldn't have gotten up. If he'd gotten up, the referee should have stopped it. Let's take a second look at that, because it was just like a perfect hand. Look at that. Oh, you can't throw that better. That's a nice left overhand, left, and out he goes.
So Michael Nunn lifting his record to 40-1 with 26 knockouts. His second defense of the WBA Super Middleweight Championship. His first was just 3 weeks ago over Victor Cordoba. Let's get the official announcement right now from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Damas y caballeros, ladies and gentlemen, tenemos el tiempo 2 minutos 59 segundos in el primer round, 2 minutes 59 seconds in round number 1. El ganador por knockout, the winner by way of knockout, el campeón Michael, second to none.
Looks good on the record, 40-1. But a mismatch in our first bout in this Grand Slam. Michael Nunn over Morgan. No surprises, pretty much what we expected.
You know, you're always left with a thought. Julian Jackson was supposed to fight McClellan here. Now, that was an incendiary fight. Two guys that can really bomb, meeting. It would have been another Haugen, not Haugen, but Hagler-Hearns fight. You know, big first round and maybe a knockout at the end of that. Instead, we had this. Too bad, but that's all you can do.
Quick work for Michael Nunn, and we invite you to stay with us, because coming up next here at Azteca Stadium in Mexico City, our second of 4 World Championship fights, Azumah Nelson versus Gabriel Ruelas for the WBC Super Featherweight Championship. As we go into the dressing room of the champion, Azumah Nelson, much like Julio Cesar Chavez, Nelson treated like a hero in his native Ghana. In Africa, Azumah Nelson is affectionately called the Mighty Warrior. In a matter of minutes, this veteran 3-time world champion looks to defend his title against young Gabriel Ruelas. For more on this matchup, let's go back up to Jim Hill.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. That's 1 down and 3 to go. The WBC Super Featherweight Championship is next up on the Grand Slam of boxing. The champion, Azumah Nelson's nickname is the Mighty Warrior. His numerous conquests away from his native Ghana earned him a second title of Road Warrior. But because of his knowledge of the sweet science, Nelson has dubbed himself the Professor. Gabriel Ruelas is a #1 contender who has gone to the head of the class. Now, Ruelas believes his school days are now over and graduation day is here.
The reason why they call me Professor is experience in the ring. And if I want to trap you, I know what I'll do to trap you easy.
He's saying he's the professor or something. I would show him that it's already way past his time, you know. He should be retired. He should be back in his home country doing whatever.
You cannot disrespect a great champion like Azumah Nelson, you know, and to disrespect a great champion like Azumah Nelson, all I have to do is punish you.
I'm not intimidated or scared of it. one bit, you know. I mean, I don't like him at all, you know, I don't. I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna be nervous for who I'm fighting, you know, and this is my big fight. I am fighting a great champion and everything, but I just, like, I think he shouldn't be a champion anymore.
The secret that people don't know about me is the punching power. I will take yours, but I don't think you can take mine.
I just gotta laugh. I mean, when he says that he's gonna take me out and all that stuff, because there's no way he's gonna do that, you know. Especially not at his age. I'm not gonna let no old man do that to me. I have very good chances of knocking him out, you know, because I hit hard. I have everything to win and really nothing to lose.
If I'm serious about training, nobody can train like me. I train like animal.
He's 34 years old. I mean, it's whatever. You could have the best training in your life, and you're not going to be in better shape than a 22-year-old.
I'm like a wine in the bottle. The more the wine is keeping longer, more it's getting better.
I just want to kick his behind, you know, and just to show everyone that, you know, that at least this Mexican's gonna, you know, really gonna kick his ass.
I'm not going to knock him out early. If I get a chance to knock him out, I'll hold on for a while until I punish the guy, until up to my satisfaction, and I'll take him out.
I am going to teach someone else a lesson that night.
A student cannot teach a professor, not in a boxing world.
So in a moment, we will see who gives who a lesson in the sweet science. The WBC Super Featherweight Championship is next. Let's go back to ringside to Steve and Ferdy.
Thank you, Jim. We are just moments away from Azumah Nelson and Gabriel Ruelas for the WBC Super Featherweight Championship. Ferdy, an interesting bout. Who has the advantage here, experience or youth?
Well, I think when the experience is in the body of a man like Azumah Nelson, experience obviously because he has everything a fighter should want, plus the experience, and probably at the very end of the road, but still Azumah Nelson.
Is Nelson too old?
I don't think so. As I said at the top of the show, people have gone broke waiting for him to get old. Every night that he's supposed to get old, he comes in and fights like a warrior that he is. I would not bet that tonight's the night he gets old.
Nelson is used to the big crowds and the spotlight. Will that factor in?
It won't be a factor for Azumah. He's used to fighting before huge, adoring crowds. It might be a factor for Ruelas, who has butterflies as well as a feeling of frost in the air. I mean, when you're young and you get before 130,000 people, hey, I've been in boxing over 30-some-odd years, and I've never been before a crowd of 130,000 people. This is awesome. When this young kid gets in here and he's looking across at that warrior who is non-pulsed at all by this, I think it's going to be a factor, and the factor is going to be toward Ruelas' detriment.
The thing that really devastates opponents as far as Nelson is concerned, great counterpuncher and terrific inside puncher.
What he does best is try to get you to punch outside of him so he can punch inside. Once he gets a guy hitting his gloves on the outside, that's his meat. Then he comes right down the middle. He did that to Fenix and just about took his head off. And everyone that I've seen, he lures them into traps. He has wonderful little traps and stratagems that you have to see him a long time to realize how clever this man is and how a resounding puncher he is when he gets you in his sights.
All right, Ferdy, the fighters are in the ring. Let's take a look at the challenger, Gabriel Ruelas, minutes away from his first shot at a world title, holder of the NABF Super Featherweight crown. The 22-year-old Ruelas, born in Yerba Buena, Mexico, but now lives in Silmar, California, has come a long way from selling candy door to door with his brother Rafael, now a lightweight contender. The Candy Kids showed up at Joe Goossen's gym in LA one day and said they wanted to be fighters. That was at age 12. Well, here's Gabriel 10 years later fighting for a world title. And now the professor, 34-year-old Azumah Nelson, making the ninth defense of his WBC Super Featherweight title. This son of a tailor has come a long way and someday hopes to be recognized as the best boxer in the history of Africa. And there have been some great ones, like Dick Tiger, Ayub Kalule, and Cornelius Boza Edwards. Nelson's 19th world title fight, winning 15 with 2 losses and a draw. His losses at the hands of the late Salvador Sanchez and Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. The one draw, a war with Jeff Fennick in 91. Azumah won the rematch in Fennick's backyard of Melbourne, Australia, in convincing fashion a year ago, almost to the day. To the tail of the tape, and of major significance, the age disparity. Nelson 34, Ruelas just 22. A 1 1/4 inch height advantage for Ruelas. Ruelas 129, Nelson 128 pounds, and the 2.5 inch reach advantage for Ruelas. We go to the WBC rules. 10-point must system, 3 scoring judges, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the final round. Azteca Stadium in the heart of Mexico City, the site for tonight's Grand Slam of boxing. Closing in on the WBC Super Featherweight Championship. Let's go up to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Damas y caballeros, esta es la segunda atracción especial de la noche de 12 rounds por el título peso superpluma del Consejo Mundial de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our second World Championship main event in this Grand Slam of boxing as we present the WBC Super Featherweight Championship scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Council, Presidente José Sulaiman, Supervisor Demetrio Vallado, presentando a los jueces, introducing the judges at ringside, David Chung, Tommy Kazmarek, and Jose Medina. Introducing the referee in charge of this bout, presentando al referee Lupe Garcia. All right, fans, here we go. Bien, amigos, en la esquina azul, presenting the challenger in the blue corner, wearing red trunks with green trim, representando el Tengus Boxing Club, originario de Yerba Buena, Jalisco, México, ahora de Silmar, California, en los Estados Unidos. Con un peso de 58.5 kilos, he weighed in at 129 pounds. Con un récord de 33 victorias, solamente una derrota y 16 victorias por knockout. His fine record includes 33 wins, only 1 defeat, with 16 wins by way of knockout. He is ranked the WBC #1 super featherweight contender. Introducing the challenger. Demos la bienvenida al retador número 1 en el mundo, Gabriel Ruelas. Y su oponente en la esquina roja. Presenting his opponent in the red corner, he is wearing gold trunks. El peleador de Accra, Ghana, pesando 58 kilogramos. He weighed in at a ready 128 pounds. Con un récord de 36 victorias, 2 derrotas y un empate, tiene 26 victorias por knockout. His record includes 36 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, with 26 wins by way of knockout. Welcome the former WBC Featherweight Champion and current WBC Super Featherweight Champion of the world, presentando al campeón, the mighty warrior, Azumah Nelson. El referee Lupe Garcia.
Come in, please. Azumah, come in. Azumah, come in. Well, remember, the foul discount points. May a good fight, overall clean. Good luck to win the bets. Go to your corners.
A mass of humanity here at Azteca Stadium. This stadium was filled 4 hours before the main event. The fans enjoying the prelims, doing the wave, cheering, chanting Mexico, entertained by singers, laser shows. What a spectacular happening here in Mexico City. And now we're getting set for the WBC Super Featherweight Championship fight.
Box! Out! Box!
The bell sounds. Round one scheduled for 12. Azumah Nelson, similar to Julio Cesar Chavez, skillful boxer, combines intelligence and power. As we mentioned, excellent inside puncher, blocks punches well. Gabriel Ruelas, good chin, exceptional defensive fighter, likes to keep pressure on his opponents.
He has to move a little bit more. He can't just stand right in front of Azumah Nelson. And if he stands there, he better be doing some punching, because you see how high Azumah holds his hands up. He can fire from that position with amazing rapidity. And every time that Ruelas fires, there's one thing going through Azumah's mind: counterpunch. So he'll give him a round or two to figure that out, and then you'll see these zinging counterpunches.
Nelson, a three-time world champion in 2 weight divisions. 2 classy guys. While some fighters look to denigrate the opposition, Ruelas refreshingly was respectful, while at the same time trying to be realistic in his approach to Nelson. When we sat down with him earlier in the week, he said Azumah should take a lot of credit. He's been great for boxing, but his age may be taking its toll. He told us he was made out to be the villain and went along with it to get the fight. He said, I'm really a nice guy, talking about Ruelas.
And he is. He's a nice guy from a nice family. I didn't agree with that. You can't get a nice guy like this and make him a villain, because he just doesn't, he's not convincing when he starts talking bad about a great guy like Azumah Nelson. He doesn't mean it, and he's mistaken if he thinks that's necessary at this level of competition.
He does say, I'm younger and faster. I've got the fresher legs and hand speed, and I believe I'm in better shape. I asked Ruelas if he was intimidated by fighting a guy like Azumah Nelson. He said, you know, it's interesting. I've been nervous before in many other fights, but not this one. I used to watch Azumah fight on TV as a kid, and I feel simply this is my big chance to beat a legend. I understand, though, that this is the hardest fight of my life. Ruelas' only loss in 1990 nearly ended his career. He broke his elbow in a 7th-round knockout loss to Jeff Franklin, but since then, he's reeled off 12 consecutive victories.
Again, the lack of motion is giving Azumah Nelson the control he wants here. Twice he's zinged in a counter punch after a body shot by Ruelas. Ruelas just got off a good hook just then. I think more emotion from this younger man with the younger legs is necessary here. I don't know why he's standing right in front of him. It was like the fight we just saw. I can't imagine why a guy would stand right in front of Nunn and wait for the cannon to go off. He's doing the same thing here. Is Ruelas.
20 seconds remaining in the first round. Nelson commands respect worldwide. So fighting a man from Mexico in Mexico is not a concern. There's a right hand by Ruelas. Counter punching by Nelson, and they are connecting.
And Azumah landing the better shots there. Some crunching shots by Azumah Nelson at the bell. Let's watch a real professor at work. Now, when Ruelas decides, okay, I'm going to go at this. This is the end of the round. Now watch the counter punching by Nelson. There's a good right hand. Comes back with the left. Now he's cocked again. He's just waiting to continue. Let's look from the different view. Let's look from Azumah Nelson's back. You see, good shot, another good shot. If that goes on like that, he won't be able to take that for 3 or 4 more rounds. Azumah punches too hard. Those are clean shots.
Are you fresh all the time? Our stomach looking at fast punch.
Round 2.
And the voice you heard then was Buffalo, his a trainer who just said, you're fresh, and he looks scared. So keep right on doing what you're doing, and I don't think you have to tell him anything in the corner.
Jose Buffalo Martin, who is also in the corner of Julio Cesar Chavez. Nelson told us he'll try to slow Ruelas down. Well, so far so good, and that of course is not uncommon for Azumah, but look for the knockout, he said. He is not comfortable with a Mexican referee. Lupe Garcia from Mexico is the third man in the ring.
Ruelas doing a little tiny bit better. He landed a couple of good shots. Again, a nice hook by Ruelas, and Azumah missing by a mile. He's got to box like that. He's got to look good. Ruelas got to look good.
Originally, they had 2 of the 3 judges from Mexico, but that was changed. Now only 1. The others from the U.S., the other from Korea.
Well, the gritty warrior always says, I never like to hear what judges say. I like to finish this off and no judges.
Azumah Nelson, who is a businessman when he is not in the ring, is also all business in the ring. He's in the perfume business. He has a liquor distributorship, but right now
he's in the pain business.
He's in, yes.
Right now he's in the pain business, and Ruelas is starting to have that look in his face like, uh-oh, this guy's a little bit more than I thought, because he's taking some hard shots. That wakes you up. You can forget Mexico and 100,000 people, 130,000, and the altitude and everything else. It's Azumah Nelson, the professor in front of you, and he can bang.
Not too long ago, Azumah Nelson off a bout with malaria. Fought to a draw, controversial draw against Jeff Fennick. Then in Jeff Fennick's backyard in Melbourne, Australia, almost a year ago to the day of fight we did, he zeroed in and in commanding fashion stopped Jeff Fennick.
First warning, low blow, Ruelas, not intentional, but it was there nonetheless. South of the border.
Less than a minute remaining, and that's exactly where we are in Mexico City. The second low blow, they take away a point after 3 points are taken away. A fighter is automatically disqualified.
Lupe Garcia said keep him high. I guess he's addressing that to Ruelas. He's the only one who's landed the low blows.
Nelson, a punishing fighter.
Good shot by Ruelas.
Ruelas has an explosive left hook, and he does have knockout power. Likes to work the body, hoping to get a knockout shot to the head when his opponent drops his hands.
Fighting much better is Ruelas, but he still has that look of a guy that's waiting for a roof to fall in on him.
The second largest stadium in the world, seating 130,000. Azteca Stadium in Mexico City. The largest is in Rio de Janeiro, seating 199,000 people. The all-time paid professional boxing record coming in was 120,470 in Philly in 1926 for the first Dempsey-Tunney heavyweight title fight. That will be surpassed tonight.
Middleweight. That's then he plays, and then you come back again.
Play your body, okay? Not too tense, okay? Use your, yeah, it's all right. Use your health in all the positions and all the movements, okay? In all the positions, your head. Dale, pues, dale. All right, baby? You got it. You're the best here inside, okay?
Buffalo Martin with the words in the corner. And now round 3. The WBC Super Featherweight Championship. Azumah Nelson in the red with the black stripe. Gabriel Ruelas, the challenger in the red with the green trim.
Stop. Right.
Again, a good counter punch by Azumah Nelson.
But Ruelas came back and saved that exchange with a good shot himself. Ruelas not doing badly after that last round, which was a pretty even round. Ruelas doing well. Now he's got a little bit more motion and bending his body more. Before he was just standing straight up like just observing Azumah Nelson. You can't do that with Azumah.
Good combination by Ruelas.
Now Ruelas not getting cocky. Now Ruelas says, hey, this guy's not that hard to hit.
It looks like the confidence is building for Gabriel Ruelas as his fight moves on.
In the corner, they've told Azumah Nelson, let him lead, let him come in, wait for him, and that's what he's doing right now. I'm not sure that advice is perfectly good because you lose rounds while you're waiting for the other guy to do something.
Hey.
Body shots by Ruelas. And then he goes upstairs.
Remember, most of these shots upstairs hit gloves on Azumah Nelson. Look at the way he keeps those gloves. I mean, that's a defense that's very, very good on Azumah Nelson. But the body shots are counting, and they are landing. Right now, Ruelas is outworking Azumah Nelson.
Good round for the challenger, Gabriel Ruelas, who is from Yerba Buena, Mexico, but lives in Silmar, California. He's 33-1 with 16 knockouts. A minute remaining of the third. And every time Ruelas comes close, you'll hear the crowd roar. Almost sounds like a bullfight.
Yeah, the crowd's no question about it. And with Ruelas, but a lot of heart sentiment here for Azumah Nelson. Good shot by Ruelas, right on the button of Nelson.
A downward right by Gabriel Ruelas that landed.
Ruelas not showing that motion he's famous for, and he should be showing in front of this guy. Bend his body, show the motion, throw the punch, move. He's doing it all right now.
Final seconds of the third round. A terrific round for Ruelas, who's able to spin away.
Stop.
What I want you to start doing, hey, relax, put your legs up. Relax, take a couple deep breaths, pull that out. Keep your arms up. What I want you to start doing, Gabe, is as you're boxing, sneak into the body real quick with the right hand, left hook, and then out. Then back up, okay? All you got to do is make sure that when you sneak in, your chin's tucked and the hands are up, okay? Here's the other thing. When you start moving to his left here, start looking for that quick one. Now watch his coming back, though. Start looking for that, and boom, and then back under. So now you start picking up a few more counters.
Let's take a look at one of those punches that I think gave him the round. There you go. It was back behind the ear, been a little bit forward. That could have been very effective. But as it was, gets him points. I thought he won that round, and he's ahead. 29-28, very unofficially.
Short, Gabe.
And the instructions from the mouth of Joe Goose into the corner of Gabriel Ruelas. Let's see if Ruelas can pick up where he left off here in round 4.
Good instructions from the Goose. His thoughts were good. If he can execute them, that is what he should do. But, of course, he's got somebody in front of him, doesn't let you execute. Uh-oh, looks like he's getting mad. Looks like Azumah is getting mad.
Azumah Nelson with those penetrating, bloodshot eyes, just zeroing in on Gabriel Ruelas. A wild right miss by Ruelas.
And lucky to miss a counterpunch, because Nelson doesn't let you get away with that. He throws it.
He wisely held on to the waist. There's a body shot by Ruelas.
And that was low. The referee said something. That's another warning.
Well, we thought at the outset this might be the most competitive of the 4 fights on this card. And so far, it is just that.
And young Ruelas has got to have confidence now. He's got to say, hey, this is not so bad. This is just another good fight against a good fighter. He's certainly not being on class. He's ahead. And so either Azumah is playing the warrior, laying in the tall grass, waiting for that time when he can shoot, or we got us a good fight here.
Just another average night in front of 130,000 people.
Hey!
Oh, hit on the break. Uh-oh. He hit on the break. He did that, and he got a very stiff warning from the referee. He looked kind of queasy, like, oh boy, they're going to take a point away from him. They couldn't, of course.
The jab by Nelson trying to set something up. The two now just measuring each other out.
Yeah, Azumah now satisfied to try to see if he can trade jabs with him, who can get in there faster. We have not seen the all-out attack of Azumah Nelson yet. Remember, he's been fighting one of these like the corner told him, wait, let the guy come in to make a mistake. Ruelas has made precious few mistakes.
Ruelas showing some nifty defense.
Well, he was known for being a good defensive fighter. Oh, wow, again. He just said in Spanish to him, let's keep this clean. Let's have a clean fight. In all honesty, to Ruelas, he was throwing that punch when he went to break him up. That wasn't his fault.
Several warnings from referee Lupe Garcia to Ruelas.
Oh, nice right hand by Azumah Nelson. Flush on the chin of Ruelas. I'll tell you one thing, Ruelas takes a good shot. Well, he's been hit some hammering shots.
Has an excellent chin. We've got more action coming up next. Terry Norris in his dressing room awaiting his 8th defense of the WBC Super Welterweight Championship. Many feel that Norris could be the heir apparent to Julio Cesar Chavez, the unofficial title, his best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. His opponent tonight, IBF welterweight champ Maurice Blocker, moving up in weight, fighting as a super welterweight for the first time. Norris versus Blocker. It's coming up after this one. Azteca Stadium, 130,000. I mentioned the 2 World Cup soccer finals played here in 1970. Brazil with the great Pele beat Italy. In '86, Argentina, led by Maradona, defeated Germany, coached by Franz Beckenbauer. There's so much tradition here in this ballpark. And it continues here tonight. Round 5. In this second of a grand slam of championship fights in Mexico City.
And what happened of importance in that interim was that the referee came over to Ruelas' corner and said, you got to start fighting clean or I'm going to take a point away from you. That's important. And secondly, Mike Marley, formerly of the New York Post, came up and gave a handkerchief to the referee to wipe his sweat, which I thought was about where Mike should be at this time of life.
Very helpful.
This fight seesawing back and forth. You know, not that much to tell between the two fighters in rounds. I still have it even now, as Azumah Nelson did a little bit more that last time and got a little bit more offensive minded. I get the feeling when his corner says go get him, it's going to be a different fight. But up to this point, he has been fighting a counter-punching, sort of defensive, let's see what this kid's got kind of fight.
Ruelas came to the States with his brother Rafael and sister when he was 7 years old. While selling candy door to door with his brother, he showed up at Joe Goosen's gym and said he wanted to be a fighter. Goosen, who you just heard from in the corner, who only trained pros, tried to discourage the 12-year-old Gabriel, said he wasn't interested. But Gabriel was persistent, and the rest, as they say, is history. Now he's fighting for a world championship against Azumah Nelson. Rafael, his brother, lightweight contender, got their nickname the Candy Kids from their first meeting with Joe Goosen.
Very hard thumping body shot by Ruelas, put everything he had into it, hoping that slows down the aging. Oh, nice shot. The aging Azumah Nelson. Now Azumah came back with a crisp hook to the head of Ruelas. You know, you just can't go to sleep on Azumah. He just keeps coming. Ooh, good body shot.
Freddie, what about Azumah's age? We haven't seen much evidence of it yet from Nelson, but generally, do the skills of a fighter erode gradually or almost overnight?
No, they erode gradually unless they have a lot of very tough fights. The guys that have tough fights all of a sudden fold in one night, or the guys have 80 or 90 fights. But Azumah fights, goes home, takes it easy for 6 or 7 months and comes back. And he's never been in really bad beating fights. So he has probably got the formula for lasting a long time in boxing. Plus, he's an extremely well-conditioned fighter.
So you'd be surprised if suddenly tonight everything just fell apart.
I would indeed.
Gabriel Ruelas is trying to make life fall apart for Azumah Nelson. Less than 30 seconds remaining in the 5th round.
Well, these rounds are flying by. Not that much is happening to establish one man or the other. Another hammering. Ooh, nice shot. Another hammering thing from Azumah.
May have been a low blow by Ruelas in that exchange.
And he got caught. A good sweeping hook by Azumah. In that exchange, Azumah came out smelling like a rose.
Final seconds of the 5th. Those punches being blocked by the arms of Ruelas. As I mentioned earlier, almost a surrealistic surrounding here at Azteca Stadium, the site of the 1968 Summer Olympics. 130,000. Unbelievable atmosphere here at this stadium in Mexico City.
And then back under. No counter hook after that. Do you understand? Yes. Okay. When he starts leaning forward on his jab, Gabe, boom, you've got to drop that right hand. Wait for him to start leaning forward. Lull him into that. Boom, quick, but you got to drop your head in your hand when you do it. Good. I got you outboxing the shit out of this guy, boy. Now you got to be quick. Once you make a miss, get back in your position and go quick to the body, okay?
Round 6 scheduled for 12.
Little encouragement there, and I don't blame him for doing that, because this is really going to be how a judge looks at a fight. This is kind of even. It's going back and forth, and I don't blame his corner for telling him he's outboxing him. I mean, it could very well be.
A very confident Gabriel Ruelas against the champion Azumah Nelson out of Accra, Ghana, Africa. Nelson 36-2-1 with 26 knockouts. The 2 losses to Salvador Sanchez and Pernell Whitaker. Ruelas 33-1 with 16 knockouts, and his only loss to Jeff Franklin back in 1990. That his only setback. Ahead on all of the judges' scorecards. Ruelas broke his elbow. Franklin went on to knock out Ruelas in the 7th round. It almost ended Ruelas' career right then and there, but he bounced back, and he's won 12 straight since.
Trading very hard punches now. Ruelas has not. Oh, that's the first time he's worn him. Lupe did a strange thing there. Ruelas was not fighting, and he said to him in Spanish, "Come on, start fighting." I mean, you know, the round is just starting. You're entitled to a minute or so to feel out the guy. It's not as if he's been lacking in fighting spirit.
A very impatient Lupe Garcia.
No, I think both fighters have fought clean fights and have been fighting very well, very evenly. It's a nice balanced title fight. The drama will start to build in a few minutes when we round the horn of round 7.
Little slapping jabs by Azumah Nelson having had much effect on Gabriel Ruelas.
But Ruelas is trying to time that so he can get the right hand over like he was told. But if you're blocking a jab, you can't do that.
Snappy jab now having more effect by Nelson. Up on the balls of his feet. Looking for more leverage. Does Nelson look tired to you? Does he still look okay?
No, that is his look. He is just fighting in gear. I mean, this guy looks like he's on a 20-mile run. He just measures himself, keeps on going. I don't think he's opened up yet. I don't think he's opened up 100% yet.
He is in amazing condition. Really knows how to pace himself. That's why he's lasted this long. He's 34 years old. Plus, he's got a few skills in the ring.
A lot of skill.
He is a man with knockout power, talking about Azumah Nelson, but not a one-punch knockout artist. He accumulates punches. He wears people down, but doesn't seem like he's wearing Ruelas down.
I don't think he's hitting him enough to wear him down. On the other hand, neither is Ruelas hitting him enough.
Ironically, in the Nelson-Fenech 1 match, it was just the opposite. Nelson built up a substantial lead in the early and middle rounds, and then Fenech came on. Fans voicing some disapproval back in the safe haven of his dressing room. Maurice the Thin Man Blocker, the current IBF welterweight champ, getting ready to make his super welterweight debut against the WBC champion Terry Norris, the man who sent Sugar Ray Leonard and Donald Curry into retirement. There you see it in his dressing room. Maurice Blocker being urged on by his people. Norris versus Blocker on the horizon.
Buffalo's yelling at the referee. This guy's hitting him low, and you're not doing anything. And Azumah, ever the gentleman, said, "Don't worry about that. Leave the referee alone."
Round 7.
At this point, I've got Azumah by a slim 1-point margin. It could easily be the other way. Not any type of freezing on the part of Ruelas. He's fighting like if he was in his backyard, and he has no indication of freezing it. Oh, Azumah's going for it because he got nailed real hard.
Ruelas seems to be extremely focused. He has put this huge crowd completely out of his mind and concentrating his efforts solely on the man in front of him.
That's not doing much damage, but it is building up points. I mean, while he's doing that, Azumah did nothing. And so therefore, if you're a judge, you're looking at the skillful boxing and punching of Ruelas.
Generally, Azumah Nelson finishes strong. Right now, we're into round number 7. It has been very even up to this point. Right hand, but Ruelas went with it.
Yeah, it seems like Azumah's trying to get up ahead of steam here. Oh, that's a nice uppercut that hit high on the forehead. Had that been on the chin.
Past the midway point of round 7. Here's that inside punching by Azumah Nelson. That could be dangerous for Gabriel Ruelas. He's got to be careful.
That is the minefield. That's where he wants him. He wants him. He wants Ruelas to push him up against the ropes. That's where he likes to fight.
We saw that in the 2 Nelson-Fenech affairs.
He just loves it. If this guy was more of a banger and would follow him into the ropes, you would see him stay there. But Ruelas is too smart and too well coached. He's having none of that. The Goosens have done a terrific job at preparing his fighter. He's in great shape, and boy, his game plan's good.
And that right hand didn't have much effect on the noggin of Gabriel Ruelas. Ruelas showing that he can really take a punch.
Yeah, more intensity on the part of Azumah, and the negative is also positive. You can take a punch. The negative being you're getting hit.
Good move by Lupe Garcia to elude the 2. Less than 30 seconds, round 7.
Yeah, Azumah will win these inside bouts. He's got too much experience for that, and Ruelas doesn't need to be there.
Ruelas has a thundering left hook. We'll see if he unleashes it shortly, or if he gets to.
He keeps picking. The referee keeps picking on Ruelas. Listen to the crowd respond. And Goosen goes over and says, "What are you doing with my guy? Everything is to him. Nothing is to the other side."
Very good. That's another. Hey, if they aren't giving you every one of these rounds, man, there's something wrong. You're making a miss and you're landing the punches. Take some deep breaths. This is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 20. What's the difference? Just keep going. Do you hear me? Go.
Now, all of these are open. Come, I love you, you know it. Come on. Go ahead. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Well, we just turned the corner of fateful round 7 when Azumah's corner, you heard him say, open up. And you heard Goosen saying, I don't know why they're not giving you these rounds, but they may not be giving you these rounds. So a little doubt in Goosen's corner, who spent some of the time arguing with Lupe Garcia. I would have also if I was in the corner. He's picking on a fighter, trying to change his style. That's no good.
Ruelas in the Goosen corner thinking they're being persecuted here by the referee Lupe Garcia. Azumah Nelson came out of his corner, banging himself in the head. Let's see if he picks up the pace in round 8.
Well, he's certainly jabbing more and with a little bit more authority than he was before. Before it was just kind of, let's see what's out there. This time it's a little hurt on the jab. Open up, Buffalo said, and let's see if he does. See those jabs? A little bit stronger. Double repeated jab. Presume that right hand will follow the jab as the night to day, and there it is.
There it is, on cue.
Well, when you see a great fighter like this, you could just read his mind. I mean, you know what he's doing. He's repeating the jab so the right hand will come in and then the left to the body, and that's exactly what he did. See, that's a dangerous punch. That leaping jab into the midsection with a counterpuncher like Ruelas could be dangerous.
And this is so much where the experience factor comes into play.
These are the rounds that Nelson hopes to take. He thinks he may be ahead. Maybe the other guy's ahead, but he needs these last rounds. Let's not leave it to the judges, his corners told him.
Light jabbing by Ruelas, having no effect on Azumah Nelson.
Well, Ruelas has a good defense. I mean, he senses those punches coming, and they're missing him. Now the jabs are starting to bounce off because Azumah's putting a little purpose to the jab. Now the jab becomes a purpose, and he's smiling.
The professor is grinning at Gabriel Ruelas now and just playing with Ruelas.
This is called jab 102 and right hand afterwards. Just what we talked about.
The overhand right smashing into the face of Ruelas.
The professor said, I'm going to teach you about the jab this round, and next round we'll show you what happens after the round.
It's almost as if the bell has sounded. I'm talking about the school bell for Azumah.
Oh, look at Azumah, the old warrior pose. He does that at least once every fight. Oh.
Now he's darting in and out, ducking in, leaning, and back comes Ruelas with some hard shots. And that gets the crowd in gear.
Yeah, he could just stand there and take the. Oh, look where Azumah goes, to the ropes. That's where he wants to be.
This is where Azumah Nelson is most effective. So don't be fooled by this.
Now Ruelas thinks, oh boy, I got him right in the tall cotton, and the real fact is he's got Ruelas.
The crowd, of course, is going wild. Final seconds of round 8.
Well, that jab has won the round for Azumah. Nothing happened on the ropes. Not a thing. A lot of punches went nowhere, and he established a trap. I wouldn't say Azumah's taking command of the fight. I would say that he's edging ahead.
Not stop for these punches. Not try like that. Use your long punches all the time. Move and run. Side, long punches all the time. Okay? No stop at the rock. 1 for 1. You understand? No stop for no punches, Azumah. This man won't let it beat these people. You understand? But what? Let's go. Intelligent fight.
All right, let's take the professor and show you what is meant by excellent boxing. 2 jabs, a right hand afterwards. Previous to that, he'd done that and slipped the left hook after he finished with the right hand. Now Ruelas comes back like saying, hey, this ain't all easy, old man. There's going to be something coming back the other way. See how he missed every one of those punches? Looked magnificent when it happened. Did you see where they landed? On his gloves and on his shoulder. That, when you look at it, doesn't get you a point. I'm sorry.
Round 9 scheduled for 12. All of a sudden the tide turning in the favor of Azumah Nelson, inviting Gabriel Ruelas in, and it is most dangerous for the challenger.
Well, Ruelas has been doing good up to this point. He figured he better go ahead and fight it out with him, but that's bad. Can't fight it out. You got to keep boxing, got to keep looking good as he's been looking. Ruelas has been looking good. Maybe he's not ahead of this bout, but he's looking good, and the bout's still up in the air. Hey, we got a long way to go. That was a good shot by Ruelas.
Terrific left hand by Ruelas.
This thing is still up in the air.
How do you see it right now?
I've got Azumah sneaking ahead 78-75 on the basis of, a lot of slipping. On the basis of those last 2 rounds where Azumah sort of has announced that he's stepped on the gas and is jabbing hard.
Well, this could be the difference between Ruelas and a lot of other fighters trying not to fall for the trap set by Azumah Nelson.
Well, first you got to recognize it. He certainly didn't recognize those ropes. He went in there like he had the guy in trouble. Wow, that's a big mistake.
Now things settling down once again.
Yeah, but the settling down is the jab right in your face. That's bad settling down. Again, the referee said throw punches Ruelas. What is he, a coach? Referee shouldn't tell a boxer when to punch, when not to punch. That's up to him. That's what he does.
Lupe Garcia looking for another paycheck.
Well, I think here they're so used to these fierce fights, they don't like to see these chess games that we got going on right this round here. They want to see some action. Ruelas hasn't come in like they like Mexican fighters to do.
I'm sure the officials, the refs have been instructed too by the commission. You got 130,000 people here. You better put on a good show.
Yeah.
So the pressure a bit on them.
But when it's your jaw on the line and your skull, you block out 130,000 people and worry about one guy standing in front of you named Azumah Nelson.
Less than a minute, round 9.
Nothing by Ruelas. Sharp punching by Nelson. Ruelas looked good doing it, but it didn't land. At least he fought back. Didn't land.
Little jab there by Ruelas, snapping Nelson's head back.
Boy, Ruelas got all the guts in the world. He's not giving ground. He's standing here fighting with him. There's no absolute no gut, no quit in Ruelas. Boy, he is here.
And Nelson has to know that by now. He knows he's in there with a solid kid. 22-year-old Gabriel Ruelas. Less than 20 seconds in the round.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he doesn't win it tonight, he's the future champion anyway. I mean, if he does win it tonight, it's a great upset. It would be wonderful for him and his family. But if he doesn't this time, he'll do it next time. He's a good fighter, as Gabriel Ruelas.
A world champion on the horizon. WBC's #1 contender.
Let's look at this trap. Look at Azumah. Now, he's got his feet spread. He knows he can land an inside uppercut, and the guy can't land anything on him. So he's trying like heck to land uppercuts and everything. He can't. If they'd have stayed there much longer, he would have gotten nailed with uppercuts, and as he stepped back, a hook would have killed him. That's what Azumah likes, those ropes.
In the moment the guy stays open too, no worry for the man. Because this the punctuation, you understand what I'm saying? Okay, Azumah. Let's go. Azumah, please, let's go.
As we head into round 10, Azumah Nelson looked a little distracted, a little preoccupied in that corner, something we haven't seen much of.
Well, that could be because Buffalo started talking to him in Spanish, and really he did. He started talking to him in Spanish, and he realized he had to speak to him in English. That's what. Oh, good shot by Ruelas.
A big right hand by Ruelas.
Boy, does he need that? That's great for him. A big exclamation point to start round 10 and get Nelson's. Again with Ruelas. Watch the head.
Well, maybe that was the problem for Nelson coming out. He didn't get the instructions in the right language.
Well, you know, I don't think he really needs too much. I think he needs a mirror in the corner just to talk to, because he's so. I mean, what do they tell him in the corner he doesn't know? I tell you what they're telling him is that he isn't winning this fight. They're just telling him it's close. Don't let this guy creep up on us. So they also think the judges could very well be looking at this another way. It could be that Ruelas is outboxing him. I don't see it, but it could be.
Well, you know, the unwritten rule, if you're the challenger, you better win it convincingly. And that could be in the favor of Azumah Nelson here.
Now the wrong guy is on the ropes.
Pretty good exchange there.
But driven back by a hammering hook by Azumah Nelson. I can't believe this guy's still talking to him right in the middle of the action. And he only speaks in Spanish, so he's not speaking to Azumah.
Some wrestling tactics there.
Some blood and behind the ear. He's been cut behind the ear. Must have been on with the tape. The rough. Oh, nice hammering shot by Azumah Nelson.
Nelson looking to pour it on now here in round 10.
And he says to him, you clean the fight, which must mean fight cleanly.
Blood all over the back of Ruelas. 1 minute left in the 10th round.
And boy, look at the fire in Azumah Nelson's eyes. This is the warrior. This is the professor on the attack.
Ruelas trying to bull his way out of the corner. Oh, what a shot to the body, but Nelson spins him around and looks to come back.
Ruelas all of a sudden beginning to look like he's taking an awful lot of punishment to the face. All of a sudden he's showing signs of this non-stop attack by Azumah Nelson.
Nelson relentless here in round 10, under 30 seconds remaining. And he just keeps coming forward.
Ruelas looks like he's just glad that this round is coming to an end. He's not trying to do anything too offensive right now. Oh, good hammering shots by Azumah Nelson. 3 or 4 shots right to the side of the head and to the side of the body by Azumah. He's winning this round big time.
He's a piece of shit. I know. Okay, let me have the inswell, Greg. Take some deep breaths through your nose right now. Take that. Breathe in through your nose. Oh, yes.
Little cut, little nick on the left eye.
Okay, you got 2 rounds. What round is this, Greg? 11?
11, you got to be champ.
Dave, I want you to box walk.
There's the inswell I'll watch the action here as Azumah Nelson gets untracked. There's a good hand. There's another good right hand, and that one was a hammering wide hook. I don't know what's holding Ruelas up after a shot like that. Ruelas is nicked, and so is Nelson, but his is behind the ear, unless it happens to be the blood from Ruelas. It could be. Ruelas keeps having a conversation with the referee, an unwanted one-way conversation with his referee.
So for the first time, a sense of urgency in the Ruelas corner. We'll see if Ruelas can bounce back against the onslaught of Azumah Nelson. He's firing away.
Well, he said, I feel Azumah's tired. I don't know where he saw that from, because he's the one that looked tired while Azumah looked fresh. Now Ruelas has got to commit. He's got to commit all his forces here. Is he going to go all out? Is he going to win the championship these 2 rounds? He's got to do it if he's going to win, because I have Azumah Nelson almost insurmountably ahead now. Not that the referee, the judges may, but he's sure got to look good if he's going to take the crown from a Hall of Fame fighter like Azumah Nelson.
There is only 1 of 3 Mexican judges, and Azumah Nelson expressed to us the other day that he was concerned because earlier they had 2 of 3 Mexican judges plus a Mexican referee.
And I'm sure he's glad he won that argument, because 3 Mexican judges here before 130,000 screaming Mexicans fighting a Mexican fighter ain't my idea of fair play.
You never know.
I know then. he couldn't have won with a cannon then. He'd have had to knock him out. But now, oh, nice effective shot off the ropes by Ruelas. Good uppercut to the body by Ruelas. Now a good right hand by Ruelas.
Ruelas coming in with a right hand, but blocked by Nelson.
Ruelas having a better round than he's had before, because he's got a little desperation fueling him this time, and he's trying to fire away.
A sharp contrast in the first 2 fights. The first one went 1 round, and this one is heading to the end of the 11th.
Again, instructions to Ruelas to watch his head.
Ruelas still displaying good defense here, eluding those punches of Azumah Nelson. Uppercuts, good shot there by Ruelas. But once again, this could be more dangerous for Ruelas, because Nelson is such an effective inside puncher.
It just looks great for the crowd. It just looks like Ruelas has got him backed up and is pummeling him, but in effect, it's not. I mean, he didn't land much there. It's good for points, though. I mean, he's winning this round. Big.
Very misleading. Very misleading to many of the fans here, particularly the ones way in the back.
Well, the ones way in the back have to watch the television screen.
No, you know, I can tell you for him. Oh, bullshit.
I wonder how he can tell he's won.
The last round. Let me have the, yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see what he says.
Hey, último round, 4 veces. 4 veces. Pendejo.
Now, this corner action, watch the way Ruelas spins him around and puts Azumah Nelson in the other position. The audience responds thinking, boy, he's getting killed. Actually, see, the blow is right behind his head. Now watch the punches, another one behind the head. Ruelas is inside, and what Azumah's waiting is for the uppercut to be open. See how he's that little inside uppercut there? And then the ever talkative Lupe Garcia blocked the rest of that shot. But take my word for it, Ruelas won that round, and he needs this one. And then it'll be a hot time in the old town of Mexico City, because we have a possibility of an upset depending on how judges look at it.
12th and final round. You saw Joe Goosen's distaste for the judgment of referee Lupe Garcia. And right above us, Nelson boring into the stomach of Ruelas. Joe Goosen saying over and over to Garcia, the referee, "You're for him, you're for him." Oh, what a right hand by Nelson.
Another left hook by him. Another right hand by Azumah Nelson.
But Ruelas with a terrific chin, hanging in there.
And coming back with a nice little crisp hook of his own. And now they should be telling Azumah Nelson, don't hold him in the head. He doesn't say anything to Azumah because he can't speak English that well. And that's what I think is the difference here. He doesn't know how to tell Nelson not to do that. He should motion to him. Don't hook his head. Goosen's right. And you know, this is why I think championships are 15 rounds, not 12. Because from here on out is where you really make a champion. And this is the round where Ruelas, if he has a chance, he's got to take it. Right now, he's behind because of those big punches by Azumah. If he lets Azumah keep fighting, and he's bipping and bopping now like he's got a lot of energy, then I think he can't win this fight. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he's lost.
Well, this is what you label a championship round, the 12th and final round. Ruelas has to find some reserve, some way to pull it out.
Two nice shots from Azumah as Ruelas, a little desperate, started from too far back.
Limpia la pelea.
Limpia la pelea, he says, keep it clean. Nice shot by Ruelas. There he is on the ropes again. Azumah on the ropes, and the head of Ruelas is right on his chest. See, look at Azumah work underneath. Look at him.
This is yours, kid. You be stronger, baby.
Yeah, bad news is coming from Azumah.
Come on, let's go. Come on, kid, go. More, kid, more.
Ruelas being urged on by Joe Goosen in the corner.
Goosen did everything but try to come up and tackle Azumah Nelson. Boy, anything you could possibly do, Goosen has done to win this fight for his fighter. But Ruelas just didn't quite measure up in that exchange, and you got to admire him. Boy, has he put on a nice fight against a great fighter like Azumah Nelson. And I reiterate what I say. He might have won tonight. I don't think so, but he will be a champion in the future. This kid's got class.
And the WBC Super Featherweight Championship is history.
Stop. No se metan.
At the end of the fight, Ruelas refusing to shake hands with Azumah Nelson. And now he comes in. Now there's more sportsmanship being displayed.
Well, he is a great sportsman, the Warriors, and there was no reason for that. I do have Azumah Nelson, before I make my little exodus into the ring to interview the winner. I do have Azumah Nelson retaining his crown here. I can't see how it could be otherwise, but we have been surprised before, and we'll see. Those early rounds were nip and tuck either way.
Black poison. I'm calling like a set on me. That's it. Yeah, well.
Azumah Nelson 15-2-1 in championship fights.
You know, what a great champion does is when he knows things are on the line, he takes command. This last round is championship round. This is what qualifies him as a professor. Look at that right hand. Now watch how he goes to work with hard punches, as Ruelas is just trying to overcome some of those. See, his are hard. Ruelas's are just thrown from left field, hoping. Those are prayer punches. Where Azumah is taking care of it. See that right hand? That's a hard punch. And right on the target. Short. And it's another hard left hook. Another hard right hand by Nelson. That's what makes him a great champion. If he didn't win this fight, I don't know, something is wrong here in Mexico.
He's telling him, hey, do this, how can you say this shit?
Well, we know that Azumah Nelson speaks perfect English. Azumah trying to go to 37-2-1. Awaiting the decision from the judges David Chung of Korea, Tommy Kazmarek of the U.S., and Jose Medina of Mexico. Gabriel Ruelas, born in Mexico, now lives in California.
They don't give me this fight, I know what's happening. referee, and he's coming all the way.
He feels that the referee may have stolen the decision from him. Those his words. Let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the official decision.
Damas y caballeros, ladies and gentlemen, después de 12 rounds, aquí está la decisión. After 12 rounds of boxing, here is the decision. El juez José Medina tiene la pelea 115 a 115, 115 to 115, even a draw. Judge at ringside, juez David Chung, dio la pelea 115 a 113, 115, 113. Tommy Kazmarek scores the bout, vio la pelea 115 a 114, 115, 114, in favor of the winner, a favor del ganador, Azumah Nelson.
So a majority decision for Azumah Nelson, who retains his WBC Super Featherweight Championship. Jose Medina, the Mexican judge, had it even. Ruelas leaving the ring. Ruelas so upset, he is gone. And I am looking at Joe Goosen, I think he's trying to usher him back. Ruelas bitterly leaving the scene. Majority decision for the winner, Azumah Nelson. The fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, is standing by in the ring with the mighty warrior from Africa.
Do you think the fight was that close?
Well, you know, I know I'm a Mexican and I'm fighting Mexican, you know, and I have to knock him out before the distance will be far.
Before this fight, you told me you had 3 Mexican judges. Would you have won this fight to the 3 Mexican judges that ruled it?
Well, I don't know, everything by God, you know. That's why, you know, we talk about it, and they change the referee, and they change some of the judges, Mexicans.
You seem to be in control toward the end. At the end, the last round, you seem to be in total control.
That's right. You know, this guy cannot do nothing to me. You know, but the referee, I'm telling the referee so bad. This guy is heading me, doing everything. He can see my head. Can you believe that? Can you believe that my head broke?
No. Did it? Oh, you mean you had a cut? Listen,
easy, guys.
Listen. The actual fact of the matter is that referee kept talking all the time to him in Spanish.
Yes,
I mean, he kept
Spanish to the guy and telling me not to do this, and he put me to the rope, and he allowed the boy to hit.
Azumah, let me tell you, I speak Spanish. It was against the other guy. Kept saying, "Don't punch this, don't do that," and he even told him, "Start fighting." The referee was talking to the other guy. Never said anything to you at all. I mean, let you go.
Because that's why I call professor, you know, because I know what to do in the ring. I know what is not good, that's why I won't do it, you know. I like to say I fought this fight to Salvador Sanchez, and may he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace. We all 3 of us were there that night. We were, you and I, amazed at the courage of this man that night, amazed at the courage that almost pulled off a win against a great Salvador Sanchez. I want to tell you, that was a thrill. But isn't it a thrill to be here in front of 130,000 people?
Thank you, thank you. And I'd like to say hello to my family and my kids, my wife. Hello, I love you all, Ghanaians. Hey, I love you.
All right, from a great champion, a warrior, Don King, and the mighty warrior. Till the next time, we go back to ringside because there's much more good fighting to come.
Yes, it is. All right, Ferdy, thank you very much. And coming up next here at Azteca Stadium in Mexico City, the second half, fight number 3 in our Grand Slam of boxing, Terry Norris versus Maurice Blocker for the WBC Super Welterweight Championship. As we go backstage into the dressing room of the champion, terrible Terry Norris, who says, "I believe I'm the best fighter in the world." He is laying claim to Julio Cesar Chavez's unofficial title as the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Norris riding a 12-fight winning streak, including victories over Sugar Ray Leonard and Donald Curry, pounding both into retirement. For more on Norris versus Blocker, let's go to Jim Hill.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Our third world title fight tonight pits 2 reigning champions against each other. Terry Norris, the WBC Super Welterweight titleist, fights IBF welterweight champion Maurice Blocker for Norris's title. Other welterweight champions have tried to move up in weight against Norris, and they were very sorry that they did that. Blocker hopes to be the exception to that rule tonight.
Terry Norris has turned out the lights on some boxing luminaries while piling up victory after victory. His primary targets have been reigning and former champions, like knockout artist John the Beast Mugabe, the Beast was destroyed in one round. Or ring legend Sugar Ray Leonard. The five-time world champion survived 2 early knockdowns before losing a unanimous decision to Terrible Terry. Or former welterweight and super welterweight champ Donald Curry. The Cobra was helpless against Norris as he succumbed to a barrage of punches in the 8th round.
You know, I am known for retiring people. I fight as, you know, Sugar Ray Leonard, Mugabe, and Donald Curry, and hurting Mildred Taylor, you know, damaging his career. So I'm known for hurting these people, you know, damaging fighters.
Former welterweight champion Simon Brown was on Norris's hit list until a last-minute cancellation postponed the fight.
Terry Norris remains champ. Challenger Simon Brown goes to the hospital with dizziness. They had to cancel the fight.
The bout was rescheduled, but misfortune struck Brown once again, and Norris was left without a challenger.
After the first fight, and you know, that one was canceled because the dizziness. The second fight, that one was canceled again because promotion problem. And now the third time I came down with the eye attached retina problem. My buddy Maurice is ready to fight Terry, you know, and I tell you, he's going to be a very interesting fight.
Best friends Brown and Blocker are hopeful their buddy system will dethrone Norris.
We know you're right. We know you're right.
If he didn't have the opportunity to show the world what Simon Brown is really about, that at least his best friend can show the world what we're both about.
Maurice Blocker won his first welterweight title against Marlon Starling. Ironically, Blocker eventually lost that belt to his buddy, Simon Brown. In 1991, he was crowned a 2-time champion after he decisioned Glenwood Brown for the vacant IBF title. Blocker plans to add Norris's belt to his wardrobe and share the trophy with his friend.
I guess through all his frustrations and letdowns and misfortunes, that I guess that at the end of the line, the light of hope, that his best friend is able to take the opportunity that he didn't have and make the best of it. And I'm pretty sure it's the love that we have for each other. My victory is his victory. And we drink champagne at the end of the rainbow.
It doesn't bother me at all. I haven't really even thought about, you know, them being friends, best friends, or, you know, I heard they were best friends or anything, but it doesn't bother me. You know, they're both not in the ring to fight me, so I just go in the fight Blocker and that's it.
Norris has targeted Blocker as his next victim. Blocker's plan is to take the super welterweight title and not become another notch in Norris's belt.
I'm a challenger. I'm a fighter. I'm a champion. And I'm a champion that wants to test his ability against other champions.
I want to get this fight over with. I want to fight him and move on to bigger and better things. This fight's, you know, just this fight is just standing in my way to whatever's out there, you know, the bigger fights out there. And I just want to just go in there and take care of business.
And so it seems Norris and Blocker have conflicting plans. Now it's time for them to settle their difference of opinion in the ring. The WBC Super Welterweight Championship is next. Let's go back to ringside and Steve.
Thanks again, Jim. As the Grand Slam continues, we move on to our third of 4 World Championship fights. Terry Norris versus Maurice Blocker for the WBC Super Welterweight title. Back with the fight, Dr. Ferdy Pacheco. And Ferdy, is Norris potentially the best fighter pound for pound?
No, I think he's the second best fighter pound for pound. That's what we're going to figure out in the coming months. I think he's right up there nestling under Julio Cesar Chavez. I don't think he's there yet. He would have to beat Julio Cesar Chavez for anybody to consider him the top pound for pound. But hey, that's not a bad position to be right under the great Chavez. Tonight, he's got to prove conclusively that this type of opposition, he should be able to walk through and finish big.
Is Blocker different from Norris's past welterweight opponents?
He's better than just about anybody. The reason I say anybody, he did fight Sugar Ray Leonard, but at the end of his career, I'd throw that out. Sugar Ray Leonard was an exceptionally wonderful boxer. But Blocker is the best boxer going today. If he can stick to boxing, if he can keep him off, Blocker's got a great chance tonight, great chance for an upset. But when chips were down, Simon Brown walked right through him. And if Simon Brown walked right through him, believe me, this guy is twice the fighter that Simon Brown as far as power is concerned. And he's a killer. He goes right through you and right into the attack. So that's what we're going to see. Can Blocker avoid this terrific rush that Terry Norris gives? If he can, interesting fight again.
All right, the fighters are in the ring. Let's take a look first at the challenger. Maurice the Thin Man Blocker stepping up in weight tonight. His first fight as a super welterweight. What a way to start against Terry Norris for the title. Blocker, the current IBF welterweight champ and former WBC welterweight title holder, a native of Washington, D.C. Blocker 34-2, 18 knockouts. His only losses to Lloyd Hunnigan and his good buddy Simon Brown. And the champion, terrible Terry Norris, born in Lubbock, Texas, 33-3 with 19 knockouts. His only defeats to Derek Kelly in '87, a disqualification to Joe Walker later that same year, a knockout at the hands of Julian Jackson in '89, making his 8th defense of the title. His last one, a 4th-round TKO of Meldrick Taylor in May of '92. And in his last fight, a non-title affair, he stopped Pat Lawler in the 3rd on December the 13th. Norris captured the belt back in March of '90 with a first-round knockout of John the Beast Mugabe, one of the most vicious fighters in the sport, and a man who gave up a promising career in baseball to be a boxer, although he told me he hasn't totally given up on the notion. To the tail of the tape. At 25, Norris is 4 years younger than Blocker. Blocker around 2 inches taller. Norris 151, Blocker 150, and the reach advantage to Blocker by just over 6 inches. And to the WBC rules now. 10-point must system, 3 scoring judges, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the last round. So here at Azteca Stadium in Mexico City, it's almost time for the WBC Super Welterweight Championship. Back we go to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Damas y caballeros, esta es la tercera atracción especial del póker de ases de 12 rounds por el título peso Super Welter del Consejo Mundial de Boxeo. Ladies and gentlemen, we present the 3rd World Championship main event in this Grand Slam of boxing. The WBC Super Welterweight Championship, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Council. El Presidente, the president of the WBC in attendance, Jose Sulaiman. Supervisor Eduardo Lamazon. Presentando a los jueces. Introducing the judges at ringside. Victor Cervantes, Tommy Kazmarek, and Chuck Williams. Introducing the referee in charge of this bout, and referee Richard Steele. Bien amigos, presentando en la esquina roja. Introducing in the red corner, wearing white trunks, de Washington, D.C. en los Estados Unidos. Pesando 68 kilos, weighing in at 150 pounds, con un récord de 34 victorias, 2 derrotas, y 18 victorias por knockout. With a record of 34 wins, 2 losses, he has 18 wins by way of knockout. Please welcome the current IBF welterweight champion, tonight challenging for the WBC Super Welterweight title, presentando al retador Maurice the Thin Man Blocker. Y su rival, al campeón en la esquina azul, presenting his opponent across the ring in the blue corner, entering the ring wearing white trunks with red trim. Y representando First Fighter Squadron en Campo, California, en los Estados Unidos. Con un peso de 68.5 kilos, he weighed in at 151 pounds. Con un récord de 33 victorias, 3 derrotas y 19 victorias por knockout. With a record of 33 wins and 3 losses, he has 19 wins by way of knockout. Welcome, the WBC Super Welterweight Champion of the world, one of the young superstars of boxing. Today, demos la bienvenida al campeón terrible, Terry Norris. Aquí está el referee Richard Steele.
Okay, I gave both fighters the instructions in the dressing room. I'm cautioning you again, obey my commands at all times. I don't want no rough pushing, I just want clean boxing, okay? Is there any question? Shake hands, good luck.
$130,000 strong. Azteca Stadium, Mexico City. Terry Norris, who told us the other day, I'm in the best shape of my life. In fact, I feel better than I did when I fought Sugar Ray Leonard. That does not bode well for this man, the challenger, Maurice, the Thin Man Blocker.
And he's well named, the Thin Man. He looks like a spear. Boy, is that guy tall and thin. Bear in mind, he is a wonderful boxer. If he uses motion, if he uses his jab, if he doesn't let Terry Norris walk right through him like Simon Brown did. Now, Terry Norris is one of these guys that likes to get out of here early. He doesn't stick around for the results later on. He wants to get out now. He's heading up for one of the biggest fights in his career if they can make him and Chavez. But first, he's got to get past Blocker.
Blocker told us Norris is a young fighter with lots of publicity, who is headstrong, and he said, I will tame him and put him in his place. The first few rounds, he'll use his strength. That's the key, to take his strength away. This is Blocker telling us this. How do you do that, I asked him. He said, by moving around, by trying to keep Norris honest.
Well, he's not moving around, and
no, he's not.
Terry is honest. He's coming right straight forward and battering him. There's another good shot as Norris came over. Blocker was trying to hold on as best he can, but gets hit. I mean, see, Norris is truly a great fighter. He is like Chavez. He takes advantage of every little corner, every little opening he hits you with. If you leave a window open a shade, you get hit.
Norris, a well-disciplined fighter who combines power and speed, told us that since Blocker doesn't move a lot, I'll hit him with a lot of body shots and wear him down. I should be able to walk through him, but I'm prepared, he said, to go 12 hard physical rounds. Norris said to us, Blocker was able to catch Simon Brown with a lot of punches. I don't plan on getting hit often. Blocker lost his WBC welterweight crown to Brown via a 10th round knockout. Incidentally, Blocker's IBF welterweight crown not at stake.
He is getting hammered right now. Blocker is getting hammered. The building blocks for a knockout are being built right now. Norris is wasting no time. They're short, they're businesslike, they're right on the money, and right now there's a very apprehensive look on the face of Blocker, who's tasted that real power of, look at that, whoa!
Whoa, what a thump as Blocker hits the canvas.
That's what he was doing, and that's the look he had. I'm going to get hit.
Give me a glove, give me a glove.
Richard Steele going to have a job on his hands because Norris is a finisher.
Norris trying to polish Blocker off for the final 40 seconds of the first round. Good left hand by Norris above us.
Blocker doesn't even know where he's at. Blocker just standing erect by a miracle of boxing, because he can't even focus his eyes right.
And now Norris unleashing a barrage. A big right by Terry Norris. Can Blocker survive? 15 seconds to go. He's in all kinds of trouble. He's just trying to stay up. Oh, down he goes again.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
And he's up before the bell.
And that's the worst piece of news he ever had. Look at him stumbling around. Steele has got to have a little business meeting in the corner. Steele's got to think about this, because they just folded him into that chair. Look at the complete exhaustion and knocked out of it. Look at Blocker. He's knocked out.
Hold on. Richard Steele trying to do his job to the best of his ability, but we all know the history of Richard Steele.
Let's take a look at that perfect punch. We saw it coming there. Look at that. That's the first knockdown. That's where you disconnect all systems and you go down. And the second is now coming up. The second was a right hand, but you see, Blocker is just about out. He looks to see where the ropes are, but he knows that he's going to get terrible punishment. You know, he could have stopped it right along about here, really.
And I don't think anybody would question the judgment of Richard Steele in this case if he did stop it.
He not only fell, but his head bounced off there. I mean, you know, you really got to think, do you really need this? And, of course, it's boxing. It is a championship. The bell did save him, so now he comes out for more. And just as we said at the top of the show, Terry Norris walked right through him.
And this looks like it's just a matter of time. Another thundering left hand by Norris. Low blow by Blocker, who is desperate.
Blocker has nothing on his punches. Terry Norris right now could say, hit me with everything.
Oh, what a thumping left and a right by Norris, Ferdy.
Norris is a wonderful puncher. This guy has really got aim. He's like Chavez.
Look out, no fouling, says Richard Steele. He was holding on to Blocker. He doesn't need to do that.
No. You know, his blood is up. He wants to knock out. He wants to get out of here. He wants to impress the Mexican crowd. He wants to tell the world, I'm here.
And he wants to tell Mexico he's ready for Chavez.
Oh, there goes.
Boom!
A little bit more. Chavez is right there. A few good shots. Chavez right there. Stop him right there. That's right, Richard Steele. That's right.
Good decision by Richard Steele. It was the only decision to make.
No contest. It was the decision to make. There wasn't a judgment call. And the only judgment call was, should they have let him come back out to get a little bit of that shot. It's a title fight, and he's entitled to get knocked out if that's what you consider an entitlement.
Riveting, monstrous, wicked shots from the opening bell by Terry Norris. And now a fight breaking out in the ring.
Well,
and it's a woman involved, Ferdy. There's a woman in the center of it.
And that is...
It's from the Maurice Blocker camp.
Yeah, they got some strange people in that camp. And of all people, there's Panama Lewis trying to create a peaceful situation. What's he doing in there?
Panama Lewis, who doesn't even belong in there in the first place, but that's another story.
Yeah, but right now, they're trying to calm things down. It has no place in this ring. That has no place. It's been a clean, honorable fight. That has no place.
How could they even question it?
Yeah, the only thing to question is why let him come out.
Terry Norris, a second round TKO, unofficial time 49 seconds. And I know so many people would salivate at the prospect of someday soon seeing this man, Terry Norris, do battle with Julio Cesar Chavez.
Well, it will never happen in Mexico, but if they had it in Mexico, they would have to add seats to this 130,000 seat arena. They would be hanging from ropes to see that fight. I may be one of them, because that is going to be the fight of the year when it happens.
He defends his title.
Let's take a look at the accurate and pinpoint punching power of Terry Norris. Here is a man who has ended the career. That right there gets your attention. And the idea that he knows exactly where to land the punches and how much strength. Here's the end of the fight, where it was really not a hard decision. This is not brain surgery or rocket science. Here a guy is getting hammered. His life is in danger. And Richard Steele wisely comes in and puts a quietus to this mess. And there it is. In 2 seconds, look at the way he's caved in. That punch right there could have really hurt him. The one that followed would have been worse. So he did an extremely good thing. I commend Richard Steele. He's had his rocky nights in this ring before you and I, but he had a good night tonight. He did the right thing.
Terry Norris told us he feels most comfortable at 154. No problem, though, getting to 147 if he had to fight Chavez. Let's get the official word from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Damas y caballeros, tenemos el tiempo. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time. 49 segundos And round número 2, 49 seconds. In round number 2, the winner by way of knockout, technical knockout, el ganador por knockout técnico, el campeón terrible, Terry Norris.
There you have it, Terry Norris, now 34-3 with 20 knockouts, stopping Maurice, the thin man blocker, here in round number 2. A convincing, no-nonsense dispatching of the thin man. And hugs all around for the WBC Super Welterweight champion, Terry Norris. Now has won 13 in a row. And the crowd is chanting, Chavez getting ready for the big one. The main event. We're standing by. The fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, is alongside terrible Terry Norris here at Azteca Stadium, 130,000 strong. A new record for a paid boxing crowd. Let's go up to the fight doctor with Terry Norris.
Did you think that fight needed that second round? You so completely dominated him in the first.
I really didn't think he needed the second round. I hit him. He was clearly out of it, but he couldn't stop it because the bell rung and caught him. So he made it through the round, but it was really unnecessary.
You do agree that that stoppage at the end of the second was at 49 seconds was absolutely correct?
Well, first let's stop everything right quick. First of all, I want to say thanks, Lord Jesus Christ, for helping me through this. You know?
Amen.
That's my savior. But yeah, I think when I'm talking about Richard stopped the fight, I think it came at the right time. But he should have came in the first round. I was hitting with some good solid shots.
Let's take a look at the monitor. As we talk, we're going to try to rack up so you can see the first knockdown, which was such an accurate punch. You tell me what you see here.
Really, I'm just catching him, setting him up with everything. Caught him with a good hook. That's my strongest punch.
You agree? You walked through him.
Oh, I did. He didn't have anything to hold me off. And plus he was just right here. I'm just setting him up again. Boom, and off the ropes to catch him, and just set him up with good combinations. You know, I'm trying to take him out of there. He talked a lot of noise. His group was just running his mouth, and I wanted to take him out of there. Now we offered Chavez $10 million to fight me. Now we'll see who's chicken. He wanted $10 million.
Before you leave, blocker, give him the honor of the last little call.
Right here, setting him up, trying to finish him off. A little uppercuts, little hooks. Good right hand to finish it.
What would have happened after that right hand, I don't even want to think about.
Oh, I'm glad he stopped it.
All right, here's the man that can make things happen, Don King. How about it with Chavez?
That was a terrific fight. First of all, I want to congratulate Terry on the fight that he fought. He is terrible, Terry. He was just splendiferous. It was a great show, and I think that me and Tony Cox is making history. This is incredible.
Splendiferous?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, I ask you the last question again. Chavez and this man, when are we going to get it?
Oh, we're going to get it. It's right down in the future, in the very near future. We want to see what the next one come out. We got a fight coming up with Haugen. We want to see how it's going to happen with Haugen. When we get through with Haugen, ask me the same question again.
Well, I will see you back here in about 45 minutes or less.
I'm the best fighter in the world. I'm the best fighter in the world. Chavez, pound for pound. Chavez is not.
You think you've been hanging around this guy too long?
I want to fight this guy.
Fight him next. All right, let's go back to Steve at ringside.
All right, Ferdy, Norris tipped us off the other day that Chavez has asked for $10 million to fight him. We'll see what happens. And coming up next here at Azteca Stadium in Mexico City, the main event, Julio Cesar Chavez and Greg Haugen for the WBC Super Lightweight Championship. As we go into the dressing room of the champion, Julio Cesar Chavez, awaiting his showdown with Haugen. There's no question now, Chavez can be ranked among the heavyweights in terms of box office and live gate attractions. That became evident back on September the 12th when he battered Hector Camacho before a sellout crowd of 19,000 at UNLV's Thomas and Mack Center. They're reacting on the big screen to the sight of Julio Cesar Chavez here. And that figure I told you about now pales in comparison to tonight's attendance. Let's get more on Chavez versus Haugen from Jim Hill.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. You can tell the emotion is starting to build as our main event is upcoming. And this is the grand finale to the Grand Slam. The man that most of the 100,000 plus crowd have come to see will be center stage very shortly. Julio Cesar Chavez is a living legend in this country, and while training for this fight, even the president of Mexico came to watch him spar. Oh well, Greg Haugen is not intimidated at all by the man or the legend that is Chavez. Haugen's lack of respect for Chavez and his accomplishments have fueled this fight into a heated rivalry.
Julio Cesar Chavez is a champion who talks softly and carries a big punch. The current super lightweight title holder is undefeated and unflappable. Despite his remarkable record, some opponents still try to intimidate him with words and bravado.
Everyone is going to see what John Du Plessis is made of and what he truly is, and that is a champion. And after March 18, I hope to walk out of that ring in the Mirage as the new WBC Junior Welterweight champion.
I know that you all are looking for a great fight, and I'm here to give you a great fight. And I'll say one thing right now, that I'm knocking Julio Cesar Chavez out.
The crowd, many from Mexico, should erupt with applause at the bell.
The winner, the defending WBC Super Lightweight Champion, El Gran Campeón Mexicano, Julio Cesar Chavez.
I'm very excited about this opportunity, and I think Don King and Chavez, on behalf of giving me this opportunity to fight for the world title. And I'll come Saturday night. I will be, by all means, I will win.
Safe to say this fight is either over now or it will be in a few seconds.
He's up at 9, but it's over. Mills Lane waves it off. It's all over here in the 4th round.
I'm gonna kick his ass. Back to Mexico. I'm kicking his ass. No ifs, no buts. I'm gonna kick his culo. Ass. Finito.
2 words, all Chavez. Camacho is just taking a beating.
Well, Chavez said he wanted to give him a beating. He didn't just want to knock him out. And that's what he's getting now, a beating.
The winner and still champion, Julio Cesar Chavez.
Enter Greg Haugen, a tough guy who is not impressed with Chavez or his ring record.
The way I see it is, 60 of the guys he fought were just Tijuana cab drivers that my mother could have knocked out. And, but the other 20 guys or 22 guys are good fighters. So, I'm not taking him light, but I'm not taking him as he's unbeatable either with 82-0.
Haugen has been a world champion and has had some classic confrontations with his past rivals. He continues to be a dangerous opponent as a super lightweight. As fight time approaches, the questions are, has Haugen put himself in harm's way by antagonizing Chavez? Or has the pre-fight war of words unnerved the usually calm champion?
Realmente sí, porque ha hablado muy mal de mí.
There is strong dislike, and he certainly has not appreciated the negative comments, and so he intends to make him pay the price for everything that he has said about Julio.
I'm looking to hurt Julio. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to jump right on him. I'm going to get right on him, right in his face from round 1, the first bell. I'm going to be throwing punches at him, and I'm going to be hitting him. And he's going to be hitting me, and it's going to be who's standing at the end. And I know it's going to be me.
Knocking Haugen out isn't good enough. He wants to punish him. He wants to give him the worst time of his life and beat the out of him.
And now it is time to put up or shut up for Chavez and Haugen. Azteca Stadium is ready to explode with anticipation because the main event is next. Let's return to ringside now. Steve Albert and Ferdy Pacheco.
Jim, the explosion is underway. It is deafening here, just moments away from the main event in our Grand Slam of boxing. Julio Cesar Chavez versus Greg Haugen for the WBC Super Lightweight Championship. Well, Julio Cesar Chavez may be perceived by many here in Mexico as almost godlike, but let's not forget he's only human, I think. Ferdy, what about the immense pressure of fighting here in Mexico in front of this monstrous crowd?
I think that pressure goes to Haugen. Anytime you got 130,000 people loving you and loving everything about you, that is what they say in California, good mantra.
Must Haugen win by knockout?
Yeah, that's the only way he can win. If he wins on a decision, then you and I have got to take heavy life insurance.
Is there really bad blood between Julio Cesar Chavez and Greg Haugen, or is that just hype?
It's not quite hype. It's what Haugen must do in order to disorient him and disconcert him, make him want to fight with him rather than box. But that's not Julio Cesar Chavez's way. Chavez gets mad at you. He really gets down to boxing great and punishing you, as we saw with Camacho. The more you insult him, the madder you get, the bigger the beating you get for it.
Haugen, a good, tough fighter. Don't want to take that much away from him, but is he in the same class as Julio Cesar Chavez?
I don't think on paper that you can match him at all, because Haugen doesn't have a knockout punch. He's only knocked out very few people out of his career. His percentage is very low. How can he hope to get in with this guy and knock him out? What he can do is try to get in a rough, tough fight and perhaps cut him. Perhaps it will be a butt. Perhaps it will be one of those accidents that happens in boxing so bizarre where the guy that causes a foul gets the victory.
Even the fight doctor has to be taken aback somewhat by the immensity, the enormity of this situation. 130,000, they are going berserk. I mean, you traveled in the entourage of Muhammad Ali. You know, estimate, what was the biggest crowd you ever saw?
I think in Manila, maybe in Zaire, but it's nothing like this because we never had a stadium. If we'd have had a stadium like this for Ali, he would have filled it wherever he went, but we never had a stadium this big. So this is the biggest I've ever seen in my life, the most I've ever heard screaming, and outside of the screaming in the Ali fights, I never heard the volume that this just the name of Chavez gets here.
Haugen said that the most difficult thing for him after the fight was after he won was getting from the ring to the dressing room.
No, that's if he won. And it may be the most difficult thing, but he may be on a stretcher.
All right, we're going to take a look at the crowd all around us and the official attendance. May we have the tote board, please? 130,000 people, and that is a new record for paid attendance in boxing history. Dempsey Tunney now drops to number 2, 1926 in Philadelphia.
You know, your brother and I did that fight? Yeah. Marv and I did that fight.
I could understand Marv, but you're too young. This is the grand finale of the Grand Slam of boxing here in Mexico City, Mexico. The seats right around us are about $900 to $1,000. Way up in the stratosphere, they're like 5,000 pesos, which translates to $1.75. Even you could afford that.
But you know, they have these huge screens here. So in actuality, while these guys look like they're fighting on a postage stamp, they're seeing very gigantic figures fighting. So it's a very fair and equitable thing. They are seeing the fights, but on the screen.
So we're getting ready for the challenger, Greg Haugen, and the great Julio Cesar Chavez. If you think this is loud now, wait till they catch a glimpse of their hero, Julio Cesar Chavez. Let's take a look at what happened earlier on tonight's fight card, beginning with Michael Nunn versus Irish Danny Morgan.
And that's class versus a guy that's not even close to class, and that's what happens in the first round. Complete shutout and a complete knockout, and that was predictable. That was predictable. And in Nelson, you saw a very even fight, which could have gone both ways, except I had Azumah Nelson winning. And it's interesting to note that the Mexican referee had it a draw, meaning if all three had been Mexican judges, Azumah Nelson might have left his crown park right here in Mexico City.
Nelson was right. That's what he was concerned with in our discussion earlier in the week.
And of course, Norris did what we said, walked right through blocker, too tall, too thin, can't take the punch of a heavy punching Norris. Norris has positioned himself as right in Chavez's way, and that night is going to be memorable when and if it takes place.
And that's the fight after Julio Cesar Chavez versus Greg Haugen that many are anticipating tremendously. Julio Cesar Chavez versus Terry Norris. That could be a great one.
Well, it has all the indications because both are so good, and Julio Cesar has fought so much that he is beginning to slip a couple of cogs and a couple of notches. And boy, he better be 100% when he fights Terry Norris. This guy's young and good. So Julio Cesar Chavez had too many fights and good.
Chavez 84-0 with 72 knockouts. Ferdy, why do you think he's been able to remain undefeated all these years?
First, his style, great style, knows his potential, knows how to keep in shape. Keeps in shape by fighting often with opponents he can beat, so he keeps in shape all the time.
He is on. Smith won the league rushing title for the 3rd straight year. Here's something that kind of surprised me. Emmett is the first Cowboys player.
The distractions that happen to American fighters, the Hollywood scene, the New York glitz, is not in evidence with this guy. He goes home, he maybe has a fight, and this guy while he's at the top of his form, but he's got a guy that he's got to worry about. Terry Norris.
As the anticipation builds, we are ready to take a look at the challenger getting set for his ring walk. Greg Haugen in less than friendly surroundings, but there's a sense that Haugen thrives under these hostile conditions. One of the toughest, meanest, and most durable fighters in the game. But tonight against the undefeated Julio Cesar Chavez in Mexico City, without question, Haugen's biggest challenge ever. Scene as Haugen battled his way into the ring to the strains of Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen. Tough guy Greg Haugen, who told us, my intent is to try, and I underline the word try, to take the crowd out of it early. Seems like an impossible task. And now, getting ready to make his way in, the champion, Julio Cesar Chavez, revered by his fellow Mexicans. He is the superstar of stars in Mexico, bigger than any athlete, entertainer, or politician in this land. He's already cemented his place in boxing history as one of the all-time greats, possibly could someday stand alone as the greatest ever should he reach 100 victories and no defeats. He may be categorized as a super lightweight, but here in Mexico, he's larger than life. The pride and nationalism of Mexico overflowing as 130,000 pour out their hearts to their hero, Julio Cesar Chavez. Let's see how they stack up on paper. Chavez at 30 is 2 years younger than Haugen. Chavez has the slight height advantage. Haugen weighed 140, had a little trouble making the weight. Chavez 139 and a half, 2-inch reach advantage, Chavez. To the WBC rules, 10-point must system, 3 scoring judges, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and a fighter cannot be saved by the bell except in the last round. So here at sold-out Azteca Stadium in Mexico City, we're getting set for the main attraction. This is what the fans came to see, the WBC Super Lightweight Championship. Let's go up to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Damas y caballeros, favor de ponerse de pie para escuchar los himnos nacionales. Primero, el himno nacional mexicano. Uno de los mejores cantantes mexicanos. Demos la bienvenida al sensacional Manuel Mijares.
Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero a prestar y el bridón, y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Ciño patria, tus sienes de oliva, de la paz del arcángel divino, que en el cielo tu eterno destino por el dedo de Dios se escribió. Mas si osare un extraño enemigo profanar con tu planta tu suelo, pienso, patria querida, que el cielo un soldado en cada hijo te dio, un soldado en cada hijo te dio. Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero a prestar y el bridón, y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón.
Muchas gracias a Manuel Mijares. Ahora el himno nacional de los Estados Unidos, the national anthem of the United States. Damas y caballeros, bienvenidos aficionados al box al Estadio Azteca en la Ciudad de México por el título superligero del Consejo Mundial de Boxeo. Bienvenidos a un día histórico, no solo para el boxeo mexicano, sino para el boxeo mundial. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to Mexico City for the main event, the WBC Super Lightweight Championship, where we present tonight a historic night of boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, over 130,000 fans in attendance, breaking the old record and making this tonight the Grand Slam of boxing, the largest crowd ever to attend a boxing match. This bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Council, the president of the WBC, highly respected president, el presidente José Sulaiman, supervisor Bobby Lee, de la Comisión Boxeo de México, Antonio Murrieta, and Juan José Torres Landa, presentando a los jueces, introducing the judges at ringside, David Chung, Marty Denkin, Elacio Pérez. Bien amigos, esta es la pelea principal de póker de ases de 12 rounds. All right, fans, here we go. The main event of the evening brought to you by Don King, King Vision, SET pay-per-view in association with Estadio Azteca. It's the WBC Super Lightweight Championship of the World, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Damas y caballeros, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime! Introducing the referee in charge, el referee es Joe Cortez. Presentando en la esquina azul al retador. Introducing the challenger in the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing red trunks with white and blue trim. El peleador de Henderson, Nevada, en los Estados Unidos. Y con un peso de 63.5 kilos, he weighed in at an even 140 pounds. Con récord de 31 victorias, 4 derrotas, un empate y un sin concurso, tiene 16 victorias por knockout. His record includes 31 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, and 1 no contest, with 16 wins by way of knockout. Here is the former IBF lightweight champion, currently ranked the number 2 WBC Super Lightweight contender, presentando al retador número 2 en el mundo, Greg Haugen. Y su rival, al campeón en la esquina roja, presenting his opponent across the ring in the red corner. He is wearing blue trunks with white trim y representando Culiacán, Sinaloa, México. Con un peso de 63.2 kilogramos, he weighed in at a ready 139.5 pounds. Con un sobresaliente récord de 84 victorias y 0 derrotas, tiene 72 victorias por knockout, with a tremendous record of 84 wins, no losses, 72 wins by way of knockout. He is the 5-time world champion in 3 weight divisions, the defending WBC Super Lightweight Champion of the World. Demos la bienvenida al sensacional e invicto, el gran campeón mexicano, Julio Cesar Chavez. Aquí está el referee Joe Cortez.
Okay, Julio. All right, gentlemen. Julio, Greg, we went over the rules in the dressing room. Hicimos las reglas en camerino. I want you to give me a good, clean fight. Any punch here is low. Right here, it's still good. My discretion, the belly button is low. Échate para acá, Julio. Quiero que me den una pelea limpia. Give me a good, clean fight. Shake hands. Good luck to both of you. Dale la mano. Come on, Julio.
Oh, little dissing there.
No shake from Chavez. The bad blood carries over from all the pre-fight hype into the pre-fight instructions.
And Cortez would have none of it. Made them touch hands. Well, Haugen will soon feel enough of those. He doesn't need to be given a freely.
Here we go, round one. Chavez says, I'm going to give Haugen the worst beating of his life. He even went so far as to say when Haugen returns to his hometown, no one will recognize him. He thinks Haugen has a big mouth, is gross, and very negative. And those are his good points.
It's not that easy. He's just got hit. Haugen did by a good straight right hand. There's another one, and it set him back.
Down goes Haugen, seconds in. A straight right that hammered Haugen to the deck.
A difference in class here is apparent. I'm surprised that he wants to take care of him this soon. He will go to the body if he doesn't want to knock him out and give him a beating.
He wants to punish him like he did against Hector Camacho.
Well, maybe he's changed his game style and decides I better just knock this guy out and give him no respect. Every time he hits him, he shakes Haugen.
Little low there by Chavez as the fans chant Mexico. So Haugen already in trouble a minute into the fight. He came in saying, I'm totally relaxed. Maybe he's too relaxed.
Well, he got relaxed into the canvas. Those punches are so hard, you can hear them all the way over here.
He told us that Chavez is taking him too lightly. He's not as great as everybody thinks. And what was going through Greg's mind in the first few seconds of the fight there.
Well, he's reevaluating his opinion. Low blow, but Cortez on the wrong side, didn't see it.
Haugen says Chavez fights one way, straight ahead. He's right about that. But he said, I'll outbox him. He hasn't fought anybody like me.
Right now, he's just punishing him. He had to let that right hand fly to the head like he had in the early part of the round.
Chavez pouring it on right above us.
He looks like he's got a governor. He just gets him on the point of knockout and he quits. He really wants to hurt this guy.
What a strong combination by Chavez. Again. And then Haugen spins him around, but to no avail.
Haugen is a tough little guy, and make no mistake about that. He's feisty, but he's in way over his head in class. And he has no punch to keep Chavez off. So whenever the champion decides he wants to pull the string, that's when this fight will end.
The chance now of Julio.
Boy, Julio is giving him a beating like he doesn't want this round to end. He wants him to go home with a little hurt.
Chavez, the complete package. Generally starts out in deliberate fashion, working to the body, but he's starting out quickly against Haugen here in the first round.
He's got him anytime he wants him with that right hand. He hasn't thrown it. When he throws it, he gets him in trouble. Haugen cannot take the right hand and can't block it. He's in big trouble.
Haugen, almost surgical leg. Round one over.
Okay, now listen, when you get down underneath there, you got to throw something. When you go down in here, you got to throw something. You know? Bring him up, son. Bring him up.
Let's look at that knockdown. And this is the product of those shots with the right hand right there, right on the button. I mean, there's no way you can avoid getting knocked out by a hand like that. There it is again, 3 times. Once flush, and then 2 kind of grazing shots, and that's it. He could have ended the fight. Make no mistake about it. This man wants to punish Haugen.
Haugen comes back at Chavez, who stood the entire between rounds. Chavez did not sit down, coming off the tremendous first round. Vicious, economical, overwhelming, punishing round by Chavez.
Stop punching. No, let go, please. Let go.
Chavez withholding that right hand until the moment he decides. He'll start jabbing, and pretty soon that right hand will follow.
Right hand by Haugen, but a grazing blow.
Problem is, Haugen hasn't got that big a punch.
There's that legendary left hook by Chavez. No, those are soft punches by Greg Haugen. Again, Chavez to the body. And those punches by Haugen having no effect. That right hand by Chavez had effect.
Yeah, didn't land really hard. Had it landed really hard, he'd been in our lap.
Chavez made a bet with Don King. He has to knock Haugen out for $100,000. If he doesn't, he says, I'll owe Don $100,000.
I don't think he's in any trouble. I don't think the bet is in trouble.
Little extra incentive for Julio.
Yeah. The preliminaries
What's coming in with that head? What's that head? Let's go.
coming in with all the flags, and may last longer in the fight at the stage. Oh, nice right hand again by Chavez.
And then follows it up with a left uppercut.
Crowd warming up. I saw something in that pre-fight thing I've never seen before. Butch Lewis wearing a shirt at a fight. I mean, that's surprising.
Maybe he feels a chill in the Mexican era. It's extremely comfortable here in Mexico City.
For everybody but Greg Haugen.
Yes, just about the same.
Haugen's face already all nicked up. He's bleeding from the nose. He's all lumped up and he's red.
And it's only the second round.
And Chavez is not really pouring in the gas yet.
No, we haven't seen the vintage relentless Chavez, who pours it on, comes at you from every angle. That's when Haugen is really going to think twice about entering this ring, if that occurs. Under 30 seconds in the second. Haugen told us the gloves will be to his advantage. Not so to this point. They're 8-ounce Reyes puncher's gloves.
Yeah, and he's not a puncher, and the other guy is, so guess what? He was wrong.
Final seconds ticking away, round 2.
See those body shots? That's the punishment. That's what he wants him to carry back to the States. Those rib shots kill you.
Jala el pantalón. Tienes que estar más tranquilo. En la mano izquierda larga, doble, y cruza a la derecha, eso es todo. Y a la izquierda, no vayas encima de él. Tómatelo con más calma, que va a ser más fácil. Con la izquierda, los que yo viene con la herida. Cruza a la derecha. Y no te quedes parado.
Here's a good right hand by Chavez. He's kind of saving it like vintage wine to throw it when he wants to. And we'll see it as it lands. There you go. Real fast, right over. Incredible. And then, of course, the body work to take a little message back to the corner. Hey, this guy's killing me when he goes back to the corner. His body shots. There. You see what that does? It takes a short rib and floats it around your body, and your legs say, I don't want any more of that.
Time called by Joe Cortez.
Get in that corner. Greg, get in that corner. Julio, in that corner.
He's sending the fighters into the neutral corners.
Come on, tape.
The ring was dismantled in the corner of Greg Haugen.
Come on, let's tie this up.
That's
it. Tape. Yeah, tape.
He's hollering, imploring somebody to come to work. Here, Showtime employees are going on.
The stanchion that would be behind Greg Haugen fell to the canvas.
Yeah, that's a ring pad, which here's our Showtime people using our Showtime tape. We'll have to charge them for that.
All right.
All right, always ready to take on any challenge.
Showtime coming through with the tape to help out Joe Cortez.
Julio's mind has wandered. He's not talking to the audience.
All right, round 3 begins. The first round was unmerciful, as Chavez just didn't let up on Greg Haugen's face and body. On the subject of Chavez's record, Haugen said he fought 60 Tijuana cab drivers that my mother could have knocked out. Look at his first 50 fights. They're nothing but palookas. Am I supposed to be scared?
And the answer is yes.
Yes.
All those Tijuana cab drivers fight better than he does.
He noticed that Chavez had once fought a fighter named Jerry Lewis. He wanted to know if that was the Nutty Professor. Well, he knows what he's in against right now. He says he rises to the occasion when he fights a good boxer, does Haugen. Chavez rises to the occasion all the time. 84-0, 72 knockouts.
The trouble is, Chavez is the occasion. Wherever he goes, he is it. And right now, he's just taking it easy and giving him punishment.
And so far, this has been a Mexican holiday.
Yeah. Except for Ruelas, he's not done too well with Azumah, but here, Chavez is having no trouble.
Where's that elbow, hey?
Round 3 rolling on. Midway. It has been all Julio Cesar Chavez.
He's fighting like at half speed there. Haugen trying to bully and get tough and push him off. Trying to get him mad. Oh boy, that just results in bigger beatings. Look at that little inside uppercut he just threw.
Hold the head, hold the head, hold the head.
There is nothing on the punches of Haugen, but I mean nothing. Oh, that side has got to be sore for the rest of this month.
Greg Haugen has never been knocked out. All of his losses via decision. He's 31-4-1, one no contest. Only 16 knockouts in those 31 victories. So this could be a first, personally, for Greg Haugen tonight if he gets KO'd.
He may not get KO'd, but he looks like he's on the way to a TKO. Somebody will have mercy and stop this. He has no punch. He has no way to keep Julio Cesar Chavez off except mercy on the part of Chavez, and he has none.
He said, I'm not going to just stand there like Camacho, said Greg Haugen, and get Chavez target practice. But we have seen him stand in there over the first 2+ rounds. And now 3 in the books. 130,000 strong, a new record. This is so much more than a night of boxing here in Mexico City. It's really an event, a mass of humanity that will be talked about here for a long, long time. Sort of like the World Series, a Super Bowl, and a Michael Jackson concert rolled into one.
He may be sitting down. Remember the last time he fought, he had a cushion on the chair because his back is bad. And he doesn't sit down between rounds because it tightens up on him. But in that case, I wonder why he didn't go ahead and take this guy out.
He gets tired just like you. He's human just like you. He's fit like you. All right? Walk him.
You come right back on. Stay right in that pocket. When he goes back, you go with him.
Inside, walk him. Walk him inside. Fuck out of here.
Jim Montgomery, Victor Machado, Keith Clavin urging Haugen on, saying he's human just like you. But as I said when we were on camera, I wonder about that.
He's human, but better. I mean, that's what Haugen should have said. Yes, he's human, but he's so much better now.
Probably what Greg was thinking.
And in Chavez's corner, to the delight of Buffalo Martin, he can speak Spanish now to his fighter. He's telling him, listen, let's not play around anymore. Let's just finish this thing off. Look at the arms. The right arm of Haugen is all red from the shots he's taking on the arm. The right arm is all red from the deltoid all the way down to the elbow.
One of the things that made the great Rocky Marciano so effective, right? Used to just wear you down on the arms and then go in for the finish. 4th round, scheduled for 12. It's the WBC Super Lightweight Championship. Julio Cesar Chavez in the blue trunks. The champion, Greg Haugen, taking a beating in the ring.
He's giving him a little sampling of uppercut 102 right there. I mean, he has thrown nothing but uppercuts and hit every one.
Well, we saw counter punching 101 from Azumah Nelson and uppercuts 102 from Chavez. Mexico, the chant from the sellout crowd. So much pride being exuded from this partisan crowd. Low blow there by Chavez.
You know Chavez is carrying him here because Terry Norris, an equal fighter now to Chavez, would have walked right through him by now and finished it. He doesn't have the patience to punish anybody. He just wants to finish it. And here, an expert fighter is just giving this guy a pasting. I mean, with good patience, he is punishing his body, his arms, he's breaking up his face.
Chavez would have to go up and weight Norris down if they were to meet.
That might be the only advantage that Terry Norris would have. Guys at his age going up somehow drop something.
Chavez is now 139.5 for this fight. Norris says he feels most comfortable at 154, but would have no problem coming down to 147. Oh, headshots by Chavez. Precision shots, target practice. And nothing on the punches of Haugen.
Come on.
Pitter-patter.
Come on, keep fight. Come on, what's the head inside?
I think Chavez would like to see him well marked for the post-fight photographs because he's doing the job on him like the kind of job he did on Camacho, who looked like hard shots after the fight was over.
He had both eyes just about closed at the end of that fight at Thomas and Mack in Las Vegas. Chavez again unloading. Upstairs, downstairs, to the side, everywhere, to the ribs.
Well, if there's anything to be said for Greg Haugen, is he certainly is feisty. Nobody has ever questioned his courage or guts or common sense in tonight's episode. He is there to fight. I can't wait to hear what they're going to tell Haugen in this corner.
Inside walking, okay? He feels just like you. He's the better man than you. He's the better man.
Go to the right. Every time
He's the better man than you.
Every time that shot's out, you got to throw that shot.
Now we're going to see who's the man here.
You know?
Yeah.
Another course in body punching for all you young fighters who want to know how the body attack is done. Here's Julio. He just doesn't give you a break. He keeps right on going to the body. No matter what happens, he always punishes the body. And then when he gets tired of that, he goes right to the head and mark him up a little bit so he can go home and talk about Tijuana taxi drivers some more.
Yeah.
Well, what can you say to Haugen in the corner? What can you say? Usually starts with Our Father who art in heaven. You know, I mean, there's nothing you can say to this guy.
Well, they were giving him the same old song.
Look at the Indian blood.
He's only human.
Look at the Indian blood. All right? Here are the 3 balls. Inside roll. Roll inside.
Now they're having problems with the support in the other neutral corner. Reason for the delay.
And the ubiquitous Mike Marley, having forsaken a writer's career, has now turned into a ring carpenter.
Round 5 scheduled for 12.
I like him better this way.
And you're turning into a comedian.
Well, I mean, anything to do with Mike Marley usually brings a laugh.
Julio Cesar Chavez looking to unleash another barrage. And we have seen just about everything in his repertoire, a variety of punches from all angles, much to the chagrin of the challenger, Greg Haugen. And there is genuine bad blood.
There's the right hand. Look at the legs of Haugen. Haugen's gone. He's gone.
In all kinds of difficulty, but he stays up there, Ferdy. Unbelievable heart by Haugen. I'll give him that.
He has got heart and he's got cement legs. What's keeping him up? If he has distance between them so that Julio can land that right hand from outside, he'll go right down. Again, Julio lightens up. He wants to beat this guy. Again, he lightens up. He's got him right where he wants him. He's off. There's the right hand from distance. Haugen moving away that time. There's the right hand again.
He's playing with him. He could have put him away, but he wants to really punish Haugen
again. It's just like target practice.
But Haugen, to his credit, hanging in there. He's taking it like a man.
Oh, he is. So did Camacho. Give Camacho credit. He took it. but the end was the same.
Midway through the fifth. Oh, brother, a combination. And down goes Haugen.
4, 6, 7, 8. How do you feel? You want to continue?
Haugen says yes, I'll continue with 1:08 remaining in the fifth.
And the problem is there's 1 minute and 10 seconds, and Chavez wants to go home.
Haugen has never lost by knockout. This could be the first. Chavez unloading. And it's being stopped by Joe Cortez. It's all over.
Okay. Well done. Well done, Cortez. Well done. Well, if he wanted to give him a beating, he did. And if Haugen wants to reconsider the remarks about the Tijuana taxes, he should. But all credit to Haugen. Let us not say that he was anything but a punching bag. He was in here to fight. He's the next champion. He was just totally over his head. Outclassed is what you call this.
And Chavez backing up his words. He did give Haugen a beating. And he lifts his remarkable record to 85-0 with 73 knockouts. And now, good sportsmanship being displayed by the two who came into the fight with a great distaste for one another.
Well, I think Chavez is still mad at him. He gets stung by these remarks. After all, he's a great champion, and he doesn't think he has to lower himself to show business.
You wouldn't know it by looking at him, but he's a very sensitive guy outside of the ring.
Well, he's not too sensitive to land a thunderous right hand, which we're going to show here in a moment. And this is the kind of punishment which finally wrote the quietus on this episode. At some time, we're going to show you this right hand, which is so strong. Now, keep your eye on the right hand. Just keep it right there, because whang, there it comes. Now, watch all the movements of Greg Haugen, a knocked out fighter. Things aren't working. His muscles aren't working. His nerves aren't working. Now, finally, just from the weight of punches, Haugen goes down. Good right hand. Another right hand. Another right hand. That's it. Goodbye. It's the absolute whirl fell in on him. And then in the corner here, Chavez just said a bunch of punches, and Cortez will stop this. Cortez did stop it correctly, I think. There's nobody in this place wanted to see any more of this damage.
Perhaps no better finisher in the sport than Julio Cesar Chavez, was just waiting for his moment.
And I wonder if Terry Norris watched this in the dressing room.
Let's get the official announcement from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Y caballeros, tenemos el tiempo. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time. 2 minutos, 2 segundos in el quinto round, 2 minutes, 2 seconds in round number 5. The winner by way of technical knockout, el ganador por knockout técnico, el gran campeón mexicano y mundial, Julio Cesar Chavez.
130,000 strong salute. Julio Cesar Chavez, JC superstar here in Mexico City. A staggering 85-0 now with 73 knockouts hoisted to the shoulders of his people. The hometown product coming through here in Mexico City. The Grand Slam of boxing ending in grand style for Julio Cesar Chavez. He said he would punish Haugen, and his words came to fruition. But you got to give credit to Greg Haugen, who stood in there, took a beating, and was really ready to continue. But Joe Cortez stopped it at 2:02, the official time of round number 5. Interesting night of boxing here all around at Azteca Stadium in Mexico City. They've seen a lot of great sporting events here. World Cup championships, the 1968 Summer Olympics, and tonight the all-time paid professional boxing record of 130,000, eclipsing Philadelphia, September 23rd, 1926, for the first Dempsey-Tunney heavyweight title fight, when they had 120,470. So history made here tonight with this big crowd. 114,000 was the largest sports crowd. 1986 World Cup finals between Argentina and Germany previous to tonight. The record set at Azteca Stadium, in the second largest stadium in the world. It is chaos in the ring right now. Julio Cesar Chavez, Don King with his arm wrapped around him. As I said at the outset of the telecast, almost a surreal setting here with this massive humanity. Not too many of the 130,000 have left. There is going to be some whopping traffic jam after this one, folks. We won't get out of here for at least 2 hours after this is over. Again, as we pan this humongous crowd at Azteca Stadium in Mexico City. The fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, is all set to go in the ring. Here he is.
As much as you want.
Como que quería castigarlo.
Realmente sí.
Además de la conmoción de tonta de revolú que había, lo podías castigar como tú querías castigarlo.
Realmente sí, Haugen se lo merecía. Y es por eso que lo castigué. A todo aquel que me insulte y me critique, lo castigo así.
He says, yes, Haugen deserved to be punished. That's why he punished him. And whoever insults him deserves to be punished like this. And he will punish him like this.
Él creó que did he think he could knock him out sooner?
¿Creías que lo podía noquear más ligero?
Cuando yo quería lo podía noquear porque me sentía muy bien, muy fuerte.
He felt very strong, very good. He knew he could knock him out whenever he wanted to. He felt very comfortable.
Did he feel the great deal of pride to fight before 130,000?
Orgulloso de pelear frente de 130,000.
Yes, very good. Mañana voy a Culiacán. Recíbanme tomorrow con la tambora en Culiacán.
He's going to Culiacán tomorrow. He wants them to await him with the conga.
Pero a todos mis paisanos del aeropuerto a la 1 de la tarde con la tambora.
He will wait. He will be in the airport tomorrow. He wants all the cameras and all of his fans. He arrives at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Recuerda de decir lo que hablamos de Don King.
Que no estoy peleado con Don King. Es bullshit, es mentira. Todos tratan de separarnos a mí, Don King, porque yo y Don King somos el número 1.
He wants everyone to know that he has not fought with Don King as the papers and the reporters have rumored. He loves him, he pays him well, he's taken good care of him.
Todo el mundo quiere acabarnos, pero Don King es el mejor promotor del mundo.
He says everyone wants to finish with him and Don. He wants everyone to know that Don King is the best promoter in the world.
Yes, yes. My father, Don King.
I love you, Julio.
What how about Terry Norris? What did he see him tonight? Is he look anxious to fight him? Gladys.
Okay.
Terry Norris, si quiero pelear.
Norris baje a peso welter y peleo con él.
He says if Terry Norris comes down to welterweight, he will fight him.
All right.
He's not scared of him.
A brave and determined Greg Haugen has fought this whole crowd and come all the way through to say something to us. Greg.
Julio's a great fighter. Caught me with a good right hand in the first round, and I started to come back. I thought I was hitting him with some good shots. We were trading good shots, and he's a hard puncher. He's a hell of a fighter. Definitely one of the best fighters in the world, and he proved it. You know, caught me in the 5th round with a flush right hand. I just couldn't recover from him. He just kept throwing punches. So I have to give it to him. The better man won.
Thank you, Don. Ahora sí reconoces que ya no peleé con taxistas. No taxistas.
Well, they must have been tough taxi drivers.
All right. Greg Haugen, always the last word. A gallant man who took a big beating tonight. And back to Steve, who doesn't have to take a beating at ringside.
Thanks, Ferdy. A gracious and classy Greg Haugen saluting Julio Cesar Chavez in the end in hugs. Grand Slam of boxing coming to a close. A privilege to be part of this historic event. A paid attendance record for boxing of 130,000 here at Azteca Stadium in Mexico City. We have 2 exciting World Championship bouts on our broadcast horizon. WBA Cruiserweight Champion Bobby Chez, our sometime broadcast partner, faces the challenge of #1 contender Norris, Terry's older brother. That championship fight will be telecast live on Showtime April 23rd. And on May the 8th, Showtime Event Television and King Vision present the WBC version of the World Heavyweight Championship. Undefeated champ Lennox Lewis makes his first title defense when he meets the challenge of #1 contender Tony TNT Tucker. Hope to see you then. But right now, let's go back to Jim Hill for a final recap. Jim?
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Almost as extraordinary as the event in the stadium tonight was the efforts of the men and women who worked for months to bring you this unprecedented television event. And many thanks to all of you who made this happen. We would also like to extend our gratitude to our friends at Televisa. Without their assistance, we could not have accomplished tonight's telecast. But let's recap before we leave you what happened tonight in the ring here before 130,000 fans in Azteca Stadium in Mexico City. In our first event, it was Michael Nunn. In a first-round TKO, he retained his WBA Super Middleweight title with a first-round TKO over Dan Morgan. Then we moved on to Azumah, the Professor Nelson. He retained his WBC Super Featherweight championship with a majority decision over Gabriel Ruelas. Our third bout of the evening had Terry Norris. He scored a second-round TKO over Maurice to retain his WBC Super Welterweight championship. And then in our main event, it was Julio Cesar Chavez scoring a fifth-round TKO as he defeated Greg Haugen, and his record now is an amazing 85-0. And so for Steve Albert and Ferdy Pacheco, this is Jim Hill saying adios from Azteca Stadium in Mexico City. This has been a presentation of King Vision Pay-Per-View Limited and Showtime Event Television in association with Estadio Azteca. King Vision executive producer, Don King.